Alrighty. Thing I'm good. Sup?
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, okay, that's cool. He should do it. And then the pressure would be on me to do something. Vosh alone has the power to literally turn his entire career on with a video like that. He could do it, but he won't. So no, even somebody like Vosh could turn his career. I know it would if he were to make a video like, but he wouldn't do it. But I'm just saying that like that's like a thing that it's within your power, even when you feel like it's completely impossible. Like it's within your power to do so. I think it is. I think people underestimate how short the attention span is of people on the internet and how much power they have to control their own narrative if they just stop digging.
I don't even think this is specific to the internet. I think this is perfectly applicable to everybody's everyday life in their workplace, their home, whatever. Like there's going to be a time when you show your ass or you do something that everybody hates. And the best way to climb back is just fucking persistent, superior performance. Just like put your head down, do work that everybody likes. You know, maybe you have to like say sorry or be like, you know what, maybe I didn't approach that the best way or something like that. Destiny, I'm really curious why you didn't fight for yourself a little bit better in that conversation. For example, you know, Max talking about how you're my friend, you should be sticking up for me. If you want to be my friend, you've got to, you know, you can't ban me, right? And you've got to allow me to like say my piece when there's something that's so disturbing to me and so emotionally disruptive that it's like making me tremble in fear. And these, you know, the platforming the Nazi thing or whatever. Did he ever reach out to you in private about that before he started coming on your stream and talking about it and making, you know, Reddit threads and stuff like that?
He might have, I don't remember, but like I'm really open with people that I'm okay with any conversation. He didn't like ambush me with anything,
fine.
Right?
That's fine, that's fine. But I feel like, no, that's not true because you did say yourself that part of the reason that you would have banned him is because he's like, he is exercising some level of control and on some level he is a threat to you and like your
well, not him, it's not like he's a threat and that like, oh God, he might become a big content creator and destroy me. It was I don't want to brew like a community of anti-fans in my community. That's something I always have to be mindful of. Okay,
specifically, you said that there is a like a world, a possibility where he and suddenly, you know, like half your Reddit are calling you a Nazi collaborator or something like that, and that you could have nipped that in the bud by banning him or something like that. So that is a fear that you have, is that he can exercise some level of control or foment some rage or something like.
Oh, sure, maybe. Yeah.
What I'm saying is that like, why wouldn't you fight for yourself a little bit there and be like, okay, you're the one that's always coming on and saying you're my friend and I love you, Steven. Like, is this a thing that you do for someone you love? You go to the public town square and start airing your grievances about the person you love and your friend and stuff without at least giving me a chance to explain myself in private? Because there were private details about that Fuentes thing that you came out about eventually, right? Like, in that entire drawn-out conversation you had with him, some of it, I'm getting the read, was contingent on you not wanting to be forthcoming about details that you didn't want.
Yeah, but even with those, I don't think it would have changed his mind that much.
Right, yeah, no.
But I mean, like, I'm not here to like advocate for myself at some emotional level. Like, it doesn't bother me that much emotionally.
But it is a thing you're concerned about. And I feel
I'm only concerned about like I don't want it to be the case that that anti-jerking shit is so destructive to so many communities. I don't want that to happen. I've let that happen in my community before. The days of Ryzen, those that know. And yeah, I'm trying to make sure that that never happens again.
Well, I address my Duel ban.
I also think that Max is working off a different compass in which he thinks that you can be like completely combative to those who you love and nothing will, like, your relationship won't change or be wounded by it.
Well, no, hold on. To be clear, that's what I work off of.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think, and that's why I think that you guys work. Like, that's why I think that your guys' friendship has been able to like unfold.
Well, unless this might be the the line of the
but I don't know if Max, or I think he does realize how rare that is. But I also think it's like, it's hard to make sense of that and then also have so many people like that's like not the nature of the internet. Like, the nature of the internet is like, I hate this person, they should die forever.
Sure.
So that's so when Supreme was it Supreme who just brought up the like, why obviously he's your friend too, why isn't he like protecting you?
Is the most friendly, loving thing to do to go to the local bulletin board, to your friend's house, and start posting shit for all his family to see and like airing all your grievances and stuff before you come to them in private.
So here's what I think that Max would then prefer for Steven to do with him is to either publicly give him this feedback so he could deal with it. I think he just doesn't like, I think that it's the lack of control that bothers Max so much, especially now that all of his platforms are taken away. It's like the endless blackness, darkness.
Why would anybody assume that they're entitled to a level of control over their own friend's house and how it's operated?
I think that obviously Max is a little maladaptive when it comes to that, but I think that everyone deserves control of their own life, and not the person that they're in a relationship with, but you can definitely set a boundary in the relationship. And I think that what Max ultimately did is was like, okay, I'm gonna have to take myself out of this. I think it maybe took him a little too long. But I think what he did is like ultimately, at least in this discussion today, healthy after looping for as long as they did. I think it's normal to tell your friends what you want from them and maybe even expect from them, and then if you don't get it, then not to weaponize leaving, but to be like, yeah, for me, I just can't do this.
Yeah, I think it's perfectly fair. It is perfectly fair to say this thing you do pisses me off, and if you keep doing it, I'm gonna leave. I don't think anybody has said that that's unfair.
Yeah,
you don't have to make a public spectacle out of it for however
well, isn't the issue that the boundary that he was asserting was in a large part for all orbiters, and he was like transferring it like mid conversation into being it about everyone when it's actually about him. And I would argue that it's not even about
what he's asking. It's like basically like, let me control your shit. Like, I'm just coming here and like say what I want, and if you don't want it, then I'm gonna make you seem like the enemy, even though this is your platform. And I'm entitled to it because I feel like I'm a worker, the bitch, and also like the other whatever the fuck he said. It's fucking deranged. Like, you can control a person's platform like that just because like you feel, I guess, personally attacked or something. I don't know.
boundary. Like, he's not stating a boundary, he's making an ask, which are different things. Like boundaries. Well, no, I think like boundaries are inherently like about like occupying like what your space is and saying like, hey, please don't treat me like this way.
Yeah.
What he's actually saying to Steven is, you need to give me these things, which are different orientations.
If you don't do it, it's unethical, and you're causing all your friends to suffer, and that makes you an asshole.
True.
Sure, but I also don't think that he thinks that being an asshole is the end of the world. I think that.
Okay.
I don't like those kinds of answers. I don't think we can.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think he's able to separate it, which I don't think he realizes that other people like can't necessarily.
He's the one making the moral indictment. He clearly thinks it's bad enough that somebody should change their behavior.
Yes, but I don't think that it has the weight. I don't think that he says it with the weight that you think he has it.
He's saying it with the weight that says you should do this differently.
Publicly.
Sure, but I think he also realizes that that's like just his opinion, but has a hard time like articulating that.
Okay.
There's no way that you can like make this public crusade and go on a war against an entire subreddit and then just be like, but nobody's really going to take it seriously, like beyond just realizing that it's my feelings and my thoughts.
You disagree to disagree.
I feel like she's just like trying to defend him.
If it was his opinion, that's fine.
Doesn't make any sense.
Put out a tweet. That would be great. Like, I don't think
it feels like we're cutting Max short of being like I actually think Max is smarter than that, to be honest. Like I really don't feel like
think
that.
I think that makes him. I think that makes him smart and complex. I just think that it's different than you. I don't think that there's this like one dichotomy of like dumb and smart. I just think he's different.
Labs,
Some people just operate differently.
I saw today that you blocked Cherry on Twitter. What happened?
Jesus Christ.
Dan, you fucking.
Wait, do you not like Cherry Laugh?
Yeah, what happened?
I'm trying to climb out of the stupid petty drama.
Fuck yeah, call her out.
Well, it seems like when you announce something,
you came into the fucking Discord very quickly. Holy shit, what happened there?
Something like that on Twitter, that you're not trying. Like, if I block someone, I don't say I blocked you. I just do it and move on. Go ahead.
People kept sending me things, so I wanted to make a public statement that I like just.
So what happened? What got sent to you to make that happen?
Danny, not
Danny.
doing it.
Danny.
Oh, see, this is vague posting. It's like Pokemon. Some people can be such snakes.
Listen, Dan, she isn't taking the bait.
That is my right. That is my right.
Oh,
to my Dalaban soldiers.
Speaking of snakes, seeing some really snaky weasel-like behavior right now.
Ooh.
Like, you want us to... So the implicit tact here is that we're all supposed to somehow not like Cherry for some reason because you blocked her, and like, well, that's what's going on.
There's plenty of drama in here already. Why do you feel like you have to farm even harder? There's already drama.
You can absolutely like Cherry.
Why not?
I think Dan.
He's summoning the final boss.
He knows not.
Oh, he's trying to summon Cherry.
Oh yeah.
Listen, I just want to say one thing before I peace out. To my Dalaban soldiers, stand down. We won. Good job. I love you all. Peace out.
Are you unbanning everybody?
Some of them. I'll think about the rest.
Love you, buddy.
It's been fun.
I might
Later.
Zombie deck for this. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if you're
to bring up other drama.
No, if you're too much of a wishy-washy to talk about, that's fine. We can move on.
Yeah,
like flip-flopping, wishy-washy.
I just don't find it that big of a deal, and I don't want to beat a dead horse.
No, why? Of course, why would you? It's not like you tweeted about it or anything. Totally not a big deal.
Yeah, I think one public statement is different than like keeping it on fire. But I do. I want to clarify a little bit why I brought up Anna. Because I got a lot of hate.
Who?
Shut up, Dan. Let her fucking talk. God, you're so fucking obnoxious.
I didn't bring up Anna. People were saying that I like weaponized Anna in the middle of a conversation. That's not what I meant to do.
Anna?
I can totally understand how it came off that way, though. What I meant to do was I meant to use it as an example of how, not how Steven necessarily purposely contributed to something, but how the audience took it and ran with it.
Not necessarily,
matter, right?
Yeah, not necessarily purposely, but
wait,
you know.
but we do realize that you cannot intend something, but it's still
also,
functionally weaponized. Like most times when you're weaponizing something, it's not intended. You're just pulling it up. But the reason why we call it weaponizing is because we recognize that it's like not a really fair thing to do in engagement. It's not about intention. It's about functionally what you did.
No, I think that's on its nose true, but people were assigning intent, which is what I have a problem with.
But it seems like you're more. Wait. It seems like you're more concerned about people characterizing you as having intent than realizing that it was kind of a really shitty thing to do in a conversation.
Well, people, sure, but also just Steven. And I also wanted to clarify that I've asked Steven about this before. I didn't really. Me and Anna have not talked about like what happened because I haven't really wanted to. And I asked Steven, and maybe this is Steven's nature. But he sort of like just minimized it, probably because he didn't want to deal with it because it was a crazy couple of years, is what I'm gathering now. But when I asked him about it,
Lab, can I just make one request, and then you can say whatever you want, because you're a queen, okay? Please, when you describe anything I do, stop using these fucking psych terms, okay?
What did I say?
Minimizing it, okay? I think you asked me. I think you asked me like, can I do a conversation with Anna or whatever? And I was like, yeah, Nakazawa, go for it. I think that's what I said. Yeah, that's fine, which is fine. I'm okay with that.
No, I think I'd asked you like what the deal was or something, and you were just like, oh, it was just like a hard couple of years.
What's
like
the deal?
you had made it sound like it was not as big of a deal, and I was not up to date. I mean, I really was not up to date, but what I am up to date on is how people will come into my chat, even now, years after, when the letter A is even mentioned.
Sure.
And, like,
when I talk about other people, my policy is no matter what experience I've had with somebody, there's a whole host of reasons why I might have had that experience with them. Other people are free to explore and do that on their own. So if you come and ask me, like, well, what happened with Anna, blah, blah, I'm not going to sit here and like throw under the bus and be like, oh, she's a fucking horrible piece of shit, blah, blah. Yeah. Like, she might be totally fine. She's okay now, whatever. And like, if you want to go and be friends with her, that's cool. And maybe you can. And maybe she'll be like, so totally chill, everything fine. I don't want to take like a mistake that I think that she made, which I do. I don't want to take that mistake though and like, that's going to be the rest of her fucking life was Anna was this horrible fucking blah. Like, listen, she might be chill. Go talk to her if you want it. That's fine. Like, I'm not, that's the reason why I do that. But obviously there was a huge thing. But there's a difference between like, I'm going to talk to her versus like, I'm going to bring this up as what I perceive to be an indictment of my actions. Well, if you're going to do that, well, then we're going to have a more complicated conversation about what happened. That's just my explanation for that. Yeah.
Destiny, Lab's twin has showed up. Sneeko, go ahead.
Oh no, is it really Sneeko in there?
Hello.
What up?
Oh,
yeah, what's up?
Fuck.
What is happening? Going on?
Well, you jumped into a room with 9 people, and you want us to catch you up?
No, I don't. No, don't. I was just jumping in. You put it on me, but I was listening to the drama. Someone got touched.
Was that? But anyway, yeah, I fucked up by bringing it up.
Canceled.
And I'm sorry.
I mean, like,
that's fine. Don't apologize. Oh,
Discord.
That's fine.
I'm so dumb.
Don't say that. Don't say this even because that's what people want to hear.
No.
I don't want to hear that. She can go apologize to the crowd then. I don't care. Apologies are cringe. Okay. What?
That is.
We should applaud a public apology is something I think is rare these days.
Like, do you think that all apologies, like, especially maybe even given, well, fuck it, would you have rejected this apology in private as well?
Yeah, I would have said, I don't care, it's fine. Just don't do it again. That's all I would say.
I already apologized in private. He said, I don't give a fuck.
Okay, yeah.
So, Lab, would you say that before you brought up the redacted name, would you say that the problem, the reason why you brought it up was the fact that you didn't think before you spoke?
No, and I hate how you characterize me like this. I think it is so inherently misogynistic.
Why is it?
Hold up. Can I just appreciate that I'm...
Shut the fuck up, Lab. Jesus Christ. It's so inherently misogynistic. What is misogynistic about that? He's just character. He's just assigning something to your character, but not as a woman. Like, that's so stupid. Just playing the victim card so quickly.
just quoting the fact that you yourself said that you don't think before you speak.
That's so dumb.
I'm just repeating what I've heard from you. I swear to God.
Yeah, sometimes I do, like everyone. But I just explained why. If you can't follow a conversation, that's your problem.
Jesus Christ.
My
Holy
apologies,
shit, dude.
Carry on.
Yeah, thank you.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
Wait, did you just think he called, like, you just think he was being misogynistic, Lav?
I think that the way that Abba characterizes me in general, or talks down to me, is misogynistic, yeah.
I was on some third wave feminism shit.
Wouldn't it be more
everything
sexist? And like like I don't know if Abba hates women, but maybe you can imply that he like views women as lesser, but that's more in the sexist.
Well, what's the difference between sexist and misogynistic? Hold on, this sounds like some...
Wait. Yeah, absolutely. These are two separate things necessarily. Sexism is typically like viewing women as lesser, where like as a woman who's experienced both, there's a distinct experience when somebody looks down on you and just dismisses what you have to say because you're a woman, versus looks at you with hatred and disgust because you're a woman. Like you're distinctly different experiences.
To be fair,
separating them.
Yeah,
I want to say in Lav's defense,
hatred and disgust, I do. That he just
in Lav's defense, I do look at her with hatred and disgust, but it's not because she's a woman. It's because she's
Jewish
and dumb. I think those are the reasons. Sneeko understands this. I look at him the same way.
He's an ageist, not a sexist.
No, but it's the way that you can't even give me feedback without being playful. It's like you can't give me apt feedback that I can work on. It needs to be playful because you infantilize me while you both. It's like a very like just strange breed of feedback, and it does nothing except posture yourself above me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I mostly do that.
Give you some sincere feedback.
I think that's weak.
Oh my god, why?
Wow.
Rem, it's been a while since
Rem, when was the last time you've been on stream?
If you have actionable feedback for me, I would love it.
Rem, how long has it been? Add another one to the list.
How long since what?
You know.
Oh,
What? Hello?
Did I stunlock Abba?
No, I was just letting Rem get his thoughts out because I feel like.
I didn't want to say. I didn't want to potentially offend Lav. She didn't want to hear any advice. My advice would be, as someone who kind of started out as an orbiter, is essentially, yes, I did. I've retired now. I'm here on behalf of the OG orbiters. Okay, a lot of people in chat probably don't even know who I am, but I speak for the orbiters like Mind Waves and Atlas and Alibral and Irish Laddie. I'm from that time. I would just say, Lab, that I think you definitely do speak a lot before you think, and then you go on Twitter and try to excuse these fuck ups, and then it's only after people dogpile you and shit on you that you will then go.
Okay, can I give some advice to Rem? Can you try to give advice to people without coming off as such a condescending fucking asshole that makes it so nobody's gonna listen to anything you have to say?
I would also love to hear this if you could like bring up an example, because I've heard a lot of this just like echoed feedback that means fucking nothing, but I'd love an accurate example.
For example, when you said that
every time you open your
lying
mouth.
Doesn't require
every time
intent.
you open your mouth. Basically.
Yeah, so I clarified that that's not what I necessarily meant, and I spoke too fast because Steven was yelling at me.
Okay. I was yelling because you kept speaking over me, to be fair, but
you spoke before you thought.
What I meant is that it is virtually the same. It does the same thing to his reputation. It doesn't matter if she's stupid or if she did it on purpose. A false allegation does the exact same thing to his reputation.
Well,
she is correct about
that. Why were you earlier trying to say that it's important that you clarify your intent if it's only the outcome that matters?
Well, clarifying intent is important because the intention matters for how the other person views you. It might not matter in terms of community damage, but like if somebody like accidentally hits my car is still broken. But if they meant to do it, holy fuck, I need to stay the fuck away from them. It's a totally different thing, right?
It's the level.
Changes the perspective on the entire situation, even from a viewer.
No, but me having a slight indiscretion between me and Steven by bringing up someone is different than trying to ruin their life with a false sexual harassment allegation. No.
Yeah, but again, I would just go back to
until the third. What happened?
Weren't you like?
Why do we have enough going on?
There wasn't any
second example, but
wasn't there like weird vitriol towards Brittany from like Max, and he like lied about her being a Nazi sex cult leader, and like that.
Wait, hold on, he didn't lie about that. He just that was his opinion on it.
Yeah, actually.
Sorry, that was just how he felt, and then he just. talked about and tried to provide.
Hold on, stop. This is not. Hold on.
If only,
wait,
if only
stop,
it was human
stop,
nature
stop,
to...
stop. Hold on.
Sure,
okay.
Seems like it.
Max was being hyperbolic, but he didn't literally mean she was a Nazi sex queen. Okay, chill. Can we acknowledge that?
I don't know if we can because. You know.
I also do you not think it's normal human nature to give feedback on something that you also struggle with? I think this is like very natural.
Oh yeah.
You're squinting like you've never heard of that, Kyla.
No, I'm squinting because I'm trying to connect why you think that this is relevant. That's what I'm squinting at.
Ooh,
also, why are you infantilizing Kyla by smirking and laughing and being playful laugh?
Oh my god, it's just the most aggressive fucking room ever.
Jesus Christ. Are you having a hard time following? That's like what we were just talking about.
Oh!
So I'm trying to not come in super hot and hard at you, Lav, if you would prefer. I mean, I can like
that's
super passive aggressive.
Wait, can we see that? Can we see that? I want to see that.
Kyla,
I'm not attacking.
I'm
not.
This is what we're doing now. Okay.
I love how a fucking Lav's defense for anything is undermining anybody's intelligence. Like, oh, you don't get me, so you're too slow. Like, why does she always have to resort to like mental, like accusations of mental disability and shit? Like, it sounds like she's projecting hardcore. It seems like to be the only thing that she uses to excuse herself from dog shit behavior. Oh shit! I put an offer on Reverb for a Dynacomp. Nah, I'll probably decline that. I'm gonna loosen that offer. Fuck that. I'm not that excited about it. I don't need it. I just want a Dynacomp, an MXR. But I specifically... What the fuck is this? Wait, what? Oh. I specifically want the script version. I wonder if I should stream on YouTube more often instead of.
It's not misogyny. It's just
you being let's play hardball. But you trying to act like you haven't given me feedback already 3 times? Come on.
Of course I've given you feedback. I've given you feedback multiple times, and I own that all from my chest. Hold on, Lav. Just let me get like 2 thoughts out. I promise you can talk. The difference is that right now I'm talking about Mr. Girl's behavior. I'm literally not really attacking you, other than saying like you do tend to sometimes speak a little bit like ahead of turn, which I've already criticized you for in the conversation with Brittany, and we've talked about that. I don't feel a need to jump in on that. I just find it interesting that you'll like talk about like the accusations that were made about Max that were bad, by the way, but then like a lot of times when we bring up like accusations that Max has made about other people that were really like career ending potentially, you like fully like just kind of dismiss it and be like, isn't this like a normal, reasonable thing? It's like, I don't really know how both of these 2 things are true at the same time.
That's so fucking cool.
Yo, Lav, what you look like? Turn your camera on.
But I feel like this sex is no good for him. Oh my god.
Haven't you learned your lessons yet?
Jesus.
Oh, you're on the anti-misogyny arc.
She only turns her camera if you start strangling the air, Sneeko.
I don't think I would do that.
I wouldn't.
I mean, what you want, you're gonna find in your tutorial, okay? You don't have to do anything else.
I'm going to raise the real topic. Why is it that empaths are always the worst human beings?
Stop. No one in here identifies as an empath unironically, right?
No, I'm pretty sure there's a few in this room.
Well, besides me, I am, obviously, but...
You can't vague post.
Yeah, why are you vague posting, Abba?
Abba's like taking Dan's job of this.
Oh, actually, you know what? I like the vague post. It's a very like polite young black gentleman thing to do, so go ahead. Keep vague posting.
Yeah.
I think Wayne Brady used to do that.
True. Actually,
leave.
My grandma loved it when he used to vague post. I shouldn't be making these jokes.
Yeah, no, you absolutely should. I don't know why you do.
I wouldn't make these anywhere else.
Well, I mean, I feel pretty safe making any kind of joke like that on Abba's.
I think you guys are all just wasting time.
Generally safe around.
I think you guys are all just wasting time talking about dumb drama. So Sneeko, what's something important we should be talking about?
Yeah, please unplug
I just want
us.
to figure out what.
Unplug us.
I want to learn what Lav is wearing.
Oh my god.
Why? Why?
I'm on an anti-misogyny arc.
Why?
What are you doing?
It's not about misogyny. It's when I came in, everybody.
Hey, yo, girl, it's 11 p.m. What are you wearing?
Yeah, like it's just like let Lav. Here, Sneeko, I'll tell you right now.
You wearing pajamas, girl?
Lav is very cute. She's a very attractive young lady, but I would say just like let her words speak for themselves. I don't know, like why are you doing this? Come on.
You could just call him a misogynist.
He doesn't want to hear her. He wants to see her outfit.
You don't have to be kind about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Sneeko,
Like, that's
would
the whole
you respect
problem.
me more if I was attractive or unattractive?
It's not about respect. I just want to learn about your fashion.
No, we all know the answer.
Be real.
Would you respect me more if I dressed well?
I don't respect you at all. I have no idea who you are. So I want to figure out what you look like before I can even make that assumption. It's not about respect. Nice to meet you, by the way, Lav. You're very energetic. I like the conversation so far. I'm not really tuned in, but I like your tactic. It's good.
Wait. What do you like about it? What do you like about it? I want to hear this.
I like how she's able to aggressively play the victim.
Okay, actually based. Okay.
Yes.
Oh my god.
You guys have something in common.
Okay, how it's on base.
It had to be Sneeko, but somebody said it.
I said it.
Sneeko, in Destiny's subreddit, they think that you and Lav are twins. She's just got to
Well, that's excuse me. That's my take. Okay.
At what point? First of all, wait, Sneeko, are you Mexican?
Close enough.
I can be. I can be Mexican if you want.
Oh, I wonder. Everyone calls me like a. Never mind. But
Calls you what? Hispanic? What were you about to say? What?
She was gonna say the bean word.
well, no. People keep saying like in your subreddit, like Mexican Jewess. Like that's what they keep. That's my new thing.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting. I haven't seen anybody ever say that ever. But...
I'm trying to actually get victim points and being like, oh, are they saying that we're twins because we're both Hispanic?
Right now, you're getting victim points because you have special needs. But you know what? You do your queen.
Sneeko, I'll help you out. So Lav is somebody who gets discredited a lot because she's
No, stop! Don't do it.
And
no.
And she also gets discredited a lot by some other people because of her line of work. So that's two things that.
You only speak negative about other people.
What is her line of work?
No, you guys are doing the actual misogyny.
Yeah.
Stop. We were supposed to not do this.
No. I'm actually just repeating. No.
I'm like a commentary channel talking about, oh, they discredited her for this. What's the positive? I don't know what she's credited for.
Hold up. To be clear, I'm just referencing what I know is relevant to Sneeko because this is stuff he would be interested in.
No,
but you're like begging Sneeko to be misogynistic.
I came anything that's relevant to Sneeko right now.
Sneeko, I have what you're looking for. Okay.
No, stop.
What?
Oh,
No. It's very based. Okay. So Lav actually has coherent points buried underneath. Basically a somewhat waffly. Yep. Somewhat waffly personality, and I actually have them all bullet pointed out. I've been waiting a whole fucking week to talk to Destiny about how I think Lav has fucking based points underneath all the bullshit.
Now's the perfect time.
And I haven't been able to because everybody's been sucking the fucking air out of the goddamn stream.
Facts.
Okay, Slay. Okay, Slay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, hold on. Let me pull up my document.
But I came in, Sneeko, because I'm widely anti-sex work. And I have a lot of criticisms about sex work. And that was like that's what I've built. No, I have criticisms of myself doing it as well. I don't understand what this narrative is coming from.
Wait, no. I want Sneeko to respond. Go ahead.
But not for me.
I didn't even hear what she said. She's anti-sex work. She had some in the past. She regrets doing it, and
she's
doing it now.
No. Okay, I hate this characterization.
No, it's true.
Because
you guys are doing it. Guys, stop! You're literally doing it. You're doing the misogyny. Like, just listen to Lav and like give her some. Like, just listen to her words.
It's
God,
ridiculous.
fuck.
I will not have you guys pretend that what I'm doing is different than what I had criticism of. It's so ridiculous that you guys are acting like there are not levels to sex work. It is.
I'm with you. I literally wrote a document just about this.
Wait, so what are you, a titty streamer?
No.
No.
Oh my god.
She mostly does like debating. She came from a.
Yes.
No, but what's the sex?
Connor was talking about us sucking all the air out of the room, and now it's his turn to suck the air out of the room. Go ahead, Connor.
Okay, yeah. Can I have a minute?
No.
Wait. Okay. Let Lav finish her fucking spiel real quick because her whole career and life got go. Okay, go. Jesus.
So I'm pivoting into educational content because this is the way that I think about it. I think of it like gun rights. If bad people are going to have guns, good people should have guns too. So if a bunch of people are going to make really degrading porn, I think that there should be an option for people to seek out something else, even if it's not super popular. I want to make educational content. I want to do sex toy reviews. I want to teach women how to take care of their bodies because a lot of people don't even know how to take care of their bodies. Yeah, stuff like that, which I think is very different to what I was doing, which is very different.
Stop.
I haven't even posted on my Patreon yet because I haven't decided.
Okay, got you.
Let her finish. Guys. Everyone stop. Let her finish.
This is hilarious because you don't even know. No, keep laughing because this is hilarious. You don't even know what I post, but you are so emotionally attached to it that you're laughing about how I'm being somehow disingenuous when you don't even know what the fucking shit I've posted is. You just want to fucking dunk. You want an easy win.
Who are you
talking to? So hard for you to get a win.
To be charitable to Lav right now, like basically you guys like kind of put a number of elements of her life a little bit on blast to Sneeko, who you know has like certain opinions about sex work in like a very heuristical appearing kind of way, and she alone is like trying to navigate through this. So like,
okay, can I help her?
Put your no. Let her help. Now we all dogpile Sneeko as recompense.
Don't characterize it like that. But if you have notes,
she has her own life. Let her explain it, and then after she puts in her own words, you can go.
Turn your camera on. Turn your camera on.
Oh my fucking god.
No, please.
All right, let me know when it's my turn.
Okay, go. Connor, it's your turn. It's counter. It's counterpoints. It's your turn. Go.
I'm literally gonna read a fucking document that I pulled up specifically for Steven, okay?
Joy.
Lav doesn't care about individual sex workers, but does think that sex work in general is bad. That it's an oppressive and toxic structure environment, should not be promoted to young girls, and in general should have some negative stigma. Lav has re-entered doing work. She's choosing herself because despite being engaged to a wealthy man, she wants her own money, does have a slight thrill from people finding her attractive, and the damage is already done, so she might as well get the bag. This is all stuff that I pulled from a conversation about a week ago. Specifically, her issues with a creator named Madame Genevieve are that because she engages in personal relationships with her clients more than a typical pornographic actress or Instagram model, this is a greater harm than porn in general because it focuses on men on a relationship that will ultimately not be fruitful, but porn in general is also slightly harmful. Individual women can get power, money, or fame, but that's not the same as women's empowerment, because an individual woman can still benefit while a structure she benefits from can be socially caustic. Madame Genevieve was promoting a referral program to get younger women into the industry. Madame Genevieve was pro BDSM, and Lavloon finds that degrading. Madame Genevieve said sex work and sexuality were inseparable and had no meaningful difference. Lab believes that there's a degree of harm and that softcore pornography and someone's relationship to porn can be negative, and therefore educational pornography, softcore pornography, can be less harmful than hardcore pornography or porn addiction. Lav wants porn to be price and age gated to reduce harm. Lavloon has coherent points, but they're trapped in her indecision to own the perspectives and her lack of definitions. Destiny ends up debating the subcomponents, which I think was a mistake because we hadn't even gotten to what she believes yet. Lavloon believes that the current industry attracts women who are abused and who are trying to reclaim their femininity by engaging in porn, but because of violent, abusive consent issues that are well known within the industry, it's not a healthy sex culture in its current iteration.
Yeah.
And then also non-consent play in porn is bad because it promotes violent sex, and people can consent without realizing all the impacts that they're playing into because of previous trauma. These are all Steelman summaries from the previous conversation where everybody said she was a fucking asshole and didn't know what she was talking about.
Thank you.
Christ. Holy shit, that motherfucker has like a fucking.
That's what I came to do on Monday.
Awesome. She's a swerve. Well, what's the point of?
I'm not a swerve.
What's the point of what was the point of this?
The point of this was basically saying that everybody's dumping.
No, hold on. We're not opening the floor. I didn't come here to host a 45 fucking person fucking panel. I'm going to sleep soon. So no, we're not opening anything to the fucking floor.
For another 5 people.
Okay.
Well, I'm Connor. What was the point of you bringing this up? Yeah.
So the whole reason why I wanted to bring this up in the first place is because everybody's treating Lav like she's a fucking idiot, but I think there's gold at the bottom of her fucking positions.
Okay,
everybody's treating her
my
like a fucking
issue,
asshole
my
for
conversations with Lav have never been about Lav's positions. It's just been about her personally. Her positions. Well, I don't know what her positions are.
We talked about sex work, and then you tried to discredit all of that because you were like, I don't have a porn addiction, and I was like, okay, Steven.
First of all, that's not true because I do have a porn addiction. And secondly, all of our conversations have been around your personal advocacy, not necessarily the points that you defend. That's why we had that one conversation that one day where I spent a whole bunch of time asking you like, well, what do you think about this or what do you think about that? Because I'm just trying to help you iron out your points that you have a more consistent base.
What the fuck
Connor, there's a lot of different points that she's bringing up that that can be incredibly powerful, of course. And there are even really strong arguments that she hasn't discovered yet that favor her positions. I'm just not like in favor of I'm just
I don't know if that's true. I think that I was pretty concise on one of Kyla's panels with Madame Genevieve, even though I was rude. I think that I was really coherent, and it was like a really great display of what I can do.
Okay, if being coherent one time is called being incoherent because it means you weren't coherent the rest of the time.
Okay. It's not.
Is it coherent?
It's not one time, and also you have to understand that most of the content has been in the most of the content I've put out has been in the frame of this whole like orbit drama right now. Like.
Sure. Okay.
This is not. I'm not at my best.
Listen, I'm just saying you could do a better job communicating. I don't really think you're going to disagree with that. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
No, I think that that's true, but I also think that I came into the space to do something, and then quickly it was it kind of turned into this other monster.
Well, to be clear, I actually I agree with a lot of what you're saying, and I think you do really well when you have like a highly structured environment. The issue is like when you're saying like I came in this environment to do like one thing, it kind of makes it sound like the world tides were against you and now you can't be doing that thing when it's like, well, you came in to do this one thing, but then you instead got caught up in drama instead.
Well, no, I let myself get caught up in the drama. Like I don't think that's I don't think that's I wasn't trying to like escape accountability. I don't know. Is it the way that I speak? I have no idea that I'm doing this when I'm doing it.
Yeah, the way you frame it.
Let me clarify. I did not mean to say that my narrative was taken from me. I meant to say that I got distracted.
Right.
I want to share a parallel experience.
Can you clarify your relationship status?
I am now.
Can you clarify what color your clothes are right now? Can you clarify?
Okay. I want to share a parallel structure. Okay, so Lav, like the first time that Destiny and I met was because I was so fucking triggered because we were talking about law enforcement. I was screaming at a Twitch political debater named Doobie, and I was telling him to shove a broom up his ass repeatedly. Yeah, so it wasn't like my most shining of moments in the debate space, but what actually happened as I continued in the debate space, one, my nerves basically got like rawed out because you just get so fucking sick of arguing with everybody that you don't have emotions anymore. But then two, I got better at arguing my points because they became more coherent as I stopped getting triggered. So the triggering is fun as fuck. It's part of the experience, but then you have to decide, do I push past the triggering in order to develop a coherent message that I'm going to push to everybody, or is this space too toxic and I just have to back out?
Yeah, really good advice. Really good advice. I think that's what I'm deciding right now.
Let's open it up to the floor. What does the audience think?
Wait, what are we opening up? What are we opening up to the floor?
Oh hell yeah!
I just want to say, I think Darius has something he's been wanting to say for a minute. So Darius, go ahead.
Oh my God, please!
Why are you fucking pretending even for a minute? You are. How do I mute you? I can't have you laughing while I'm talking. Okay, why are you fucking sped? You stupid fucking sped! Pretending even for a moment you're in this sphere to learn anything. I had a conversation with you 4 days ago in Discord. And I'm like, dude, you probably should, you should talk to people.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, you stupid retard! Okay, so you should probably talk to people relatively how you want to be treated. It'd probably be a good idea. Like, this probably be better as a society if we all went ahead and treated each other with the same respect. And you said, well, if you're too weak to be on the internet and deal with all this stuff, you should just kill yourself. And then literally yesterday, you're like, wow, just discovered you should treat others the way you should be treated. You don't want to learn, nigga. You don't care. You don't care unless it's some other streamer that has a lot of viewers that can get you money or compensation or some sort of shit that you listen to, be like, oh, this guy has a good point. I'll go ahead, I'll soak it all in.
I'm so fucking stupid. I'm stealing your fucking monster. Fuck you, dude. I could actually get Balrog in the field. Oh my god, no. Fuck you. Stealing your monster. I don't give a fuck. The standby phase, I can get Balrog out, right?
I'll soak it all in. I'll take everything they say because they're a big streamer. You can get stuff off them and you care. You actually do not give a fuck about anything regarding this space. Fuck off. Play games.
Darius, is this a level 1 or is this a level 10 for you?
My
Where
God.
are we at?
Wait, can I just say one thing, Darius? I've never seen your face before, and now that I know you look like a Bollywood actor, you saying the N-word triggers me.
First off, nigga, I am black. Suck my dick, you bitch ass bum. Okay, stay on fucking YouTube. Do whatever the fuck you do.
It's good. I was just trying to offload. Save for white people stereotype. That's all.
All right. Yeah. August is gonna have fun with that edit.
I just don't feel like Lav deserved all that. So Darius, try not to do that.
No,
yeah, that was crazy.
Of course not.
Darius, you're acting nuts.
I'm about to have a nigga moment. If you don't shut the fuck up.
Okay, hold on. Remember, stop. These are the rules for my stream. If you're half black, you get half the amount of N-words, okay? So tone it the fuck down a little bit. Jesus.
And I haven't even used my 2. You've
Can I
used
get
10.
1, like, at least by Christmas?
No, you get none, okay?
Are they collectively owned? Did Darius just burn Abbas?
You get like
guys.
Why is she not? Why are you all talking? She's not engaging with anything I just said. Laugh. Why are you in this? Why are you in this sphere? You don't unironically like learn anything. Maybe in the sex sphere or like this TikTok or online.
I actually don't think that's true.
What have you learned? Unironically, tell me what you've learned.
I'm actually not going to
Tell me what you have learned. Tell me what you have learned.
Darius, chill out. You can't just scream at people the whole time and ask them to engage with you in good faith.
Okay, what have you learned? What have you learned from the sphere? Being in it, you've had a lot of conversations. Everyone's always against what you're saying.
No. First, you should start by apologizing by just screaming, ranting.
Oh my God! Shut my fucking shut the fuck up!
No. I'm being serious. You just came in here all hot and heavy, and you yelled at her, and you yelled all kinds of expletives at her. Out of respect, you should apologize if you want her to engage in good faith. You can't be absolutely disrespectful to everybody and then come out and then ask for a serious response. You should learn how to act with other human beings. I'm not joking. I'm not trolling. I'm being serious right now.
Abba, do you want to host the new Hippy Dippy?
I did instigate him to actually say anything, but I'm not pushing him to do it. Like, relax.
Okay, but come on, that was just base. That was just base.
I saw there's like a call happening. Nobody invited me. Wow, what the fuck, guys?
Oh no, get the hair out of
Stardust. It is.
This is the woman hater channel.
Get her the fuck out.
Yeah. Stardust, it is Mr. Grill's funeral, so if you'd like to say a few things, feel free.
No, stop! No, stop! We're not doing that.
Wait, what happened? For real.
I think Max is a phoenix, and he will rise from the ashes.
I want to know what you've learned.
Can we just go back to Darius and Lav? Yeah.
What have you learned from the sphere being in it?
I think the biggest thing I've learned is like interpersonally, at least like conversationally, I really struggle to get my point across if I'm not being like really explicit. I think Kyla has probably been the biggest help in that. Even like 20 minutes ago, realizing that I didn't the way that I take accountability inside my brain doesn't necessarily translate in a way that is like sustainable or feels good for the viewer. Or feels like so I think that even changing the way I speak a little bit has been the biggest help.
Can I steal man again? So the thing about it is, I think the main reason why. No, I think the reason why people get so frustrated or whatever is so I highlighted what I thought was your argument from that previous conversation where everybody was dunking on you, but then the following conversation you were kind of like apologetic and a little bit deferential and trying to be nice to everybody and saying like, hey, I'm sorry, I don't know how to articulate and all that kind of stuff. I think if you boiled down your arguments between what they were yelling at you for versus what your unassailable steel man is. If you came out with your steel man and you basically said, hey, I'm sorry for being a dick, but this is what I still believe, and if you disagree with me, fuck you, that would be more satisfying, because what happens is the strong position, then the deference, then the strong position, then the deference, whereas if you were just sticking with the strong stuff that you still believe, people would be a little bit less bloodthirsty. That's my impression.
So what you're arguing for is the elevator pitch, basically.
Yeah, boil it down. 100%.
Darius, were you even watching, or like, this lab that's on stream now is very different than the lab that has been on previous streams. It seems like you just came on here because you wanted to just scream and make a show out of it. In fact, you seem to be doing the same thing you were accusing Lab of doing. And
I was sitting in Spirit Halloween physically shaking. Because I'm sitting here unironically just listening. I fucking the whole misogynistic thing with ABBA. I just generally just don't fucking get it. I don't get why she just comes
I think I
appreciate you,
it
King.
well. Even if you don't agree, I think I explained it.
Oh, here she goes again. Always going about like how people are too slow. I explain it so well. If you don't get it, then you're fucking slow, or whatever the fuck her argument is.
Let the folks at home weigh in.
Why do you keep
seriously?
Let's open it up to the calls. We got some guys on the line. Let's go ahead.
I feel like I'm not understanding.
The live shit
Darius. Why is Darius so? Yeah, I'm just not understanding. Yeah.
Because Lab.
Okay, here's your first.
That's all.
Kyla, listen. Kyla, listen. Okay, step 1: never, ever, ever, ever start a sentence with "Why is Darius?" Okay, nothing good comes from that. Okay, and that's really all you need to know. Okay.
I think he wants like an easy layup. That's like his whole thing. Is he wants like.
I literally was talking to Mr. Girl last time, bro. It's just annoying because I unironically had to mute you yesterday because I'm just like so dumb, dog. You're like turning me like I'm autistic and I get it, but I don't fight with other people. I'm autistic. I act autistic and I reap what I sow. Okay, but I don't sit there and, like I don't like you're unironically defending yourself and like people just don't understand me. People just don't understand me. I just don't get it. I just don't know why. I just don't know why. We know why, nigga. You are just annoying. You are just an annoying person. I'm an annoying person. I get it. I do. I genuinely do get it. But it's just like, really fuck, man. It's not supposed to be helpful. I just want you to fucking stop.
So what are you doing? You're just being like masturbatory?
Listen. It's the least helpful way to engage with someone, Darius.
What do you think? You think dude, unironically, I promise you, nothing will. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Nothing will come from this. She's had 3 different fucking group calls with 6 other niggas sitting on call going, "Oh, you gotta change. You gotta do that."
You're saying she's fake. You're just to be clear, you're saying that she's fake.
Yeah, I said that at the start.
I told you to stop fucking yelling all the fucking time.
There's a crossroads.
I would have fucking.
Unironically, I agree with Darius.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna put my hand up.
Wait, you can stand behind all that.
I think I've already exhibited growth, and if you don't think so, then you're bad faith.
Wow.
I think. Hold on. I think, Lab. If I can give you the charitable feedback, I think that something true about Darius says is that when your certain private things get leaked about how you speak and talk about it, you often say that the way you are like in public is like your diary and you're very open. That's what you said to me on Twitter. It's like my diary. I'm very public and open. But it seems to be the case that when you move into like private spaces, that's not actually true. And you're a lot more spicy, a lot more edgy, a lot more intense, and you like say things about people that are a lot more extreme, which again, it's private, so I get it. But
wait, that's normal.
I don't.
The issue is that you brand yourself when you're in a public sphere as being like, this is just what it is. Like,
no, Darius joined my like a friend Discord. And I'd said something like inflammatory, like this.
No,
like,
nigga.
This is what happened. People are like, people kept coming to me and were like, Are you okay? And I was like, yeah, dude, I've been on the internet for fucking 6 years. I'm definitely like emotional. Like I'm not feeling great right now because the world's doing
my
whatever.
Brain, dude, I can't. I actually can't.
I'm not by any means. I'm not gonna.
You were in the call. You want the actual context of what happened? This motherfucker went to the call right after the call with Destiny and Mr. Bill.
Turn up your gain.
Darius,
turn up your gain to fight him.
Jesus Christ! I had said something. I'd said something like, if you're gonna kill yourself over internet drama, maybe you should, like as a joke.
Ooh.
Jesus. Okay, let's.
This was in private. This was in private.
Ooh.
Obviously, I would not say I would not.
Doesn't matter.
Something like that. Maybe I would actually. I think it's kind of funny.
No. We'll talk about that statement coming from Lav. I don't care if it was in private or public or to the DNC. That's a big deal.
Well, I mean, the only time it would ever be hypocritical with Lav is if she actually killed herself, in which case it wouldn't really matter now, would it?
True.
So it's actually the best kind of hypocritical statement.
I don't know, me just seeing her cry over the fact that DGG's roasting her every day, and then she says that shit, she's gonna have to hold this big fat L.
First of all, I did not cry.
I saw tears. Your eyes were red. Your cheeks were puffy. I've studied white people. You were
crying's okay. Crying's okay.
No, it was a frustration cry, and I
what do people
sucked
expect,
those
though?
shits back in. I sucked them back in.
You shouldn't need to.
Hey, listen. I don't care how proficient you are at sucking. That is still crying in my eyes.
Just really quick, I want to say that somebody filled me in on what happened when I was gone. I want to say that despite our differences, I hope Mr. G feels better and decides to re-enter the content creation sphere whenever he feels ready. So,
wow.
I may never be friends with him again, but I still wish him the best.
Okay. But he's not stopping making content.
That was a beautiful eulogy. Anybody
Well,
else?
if he stops, just remember how much of it is your fault, Stardust. For
Nice.
The heinous, disgusting campaign that you launched against.
Okay, it was pretty heinous and it was pretty gross, to be fair. Okay, let's be real.
There's blood on your hands.
It was a dumb move. It was a really dumb, fucked up move. And I didn't intend for it to, but I didn't even think. Honestly, that's the issue, is that I didn't even think twice about
a few of
how
us
this
do
would
in this
come off.
space, so you're good. Don't
At
worry.
Stardust, we're all kind of grateful because now none of us are ever going to stretch on stream ever again. And so I think that's a good thing for the streaming.
True.
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna make a bold claim here. People say things about Lav and reinforcing misogyny, but I think Stardust, what you did and what Cherry did, I think reinforced more misogyny in this community than Lav's entire.
Okay, why? We're really gonna relitigate this. We're gonna do this.
Yeah, absolutely. Separate people's actions from their sex or gender. What about that?
Wow, what a radical concept that is.
I don't know. You called me a misogynist based off very little earlier.
Oh, that is true.
It was not based off of little. It was not based off of little. You literally posted this in chat like a fucking day ago. You said wants to ban misogyny, brings on Lav the next day.
Facts. That's
you
base.
are a fucking misogynist.
No, that's not misogyny.
I'm trying to not misogynistic. It's not misogynistic. It's not a misogynistic. Hold on, that's not. Lab, that's not a misogynistic claim.
Wait, that is misogynistic. Hold on,
no,
you can't.
It's not. No. What Steven said. Hold on. I'm not opening. What Destiny said. About like how you're not a great sample of woman to bring in front of men who already hate women is true and not misogynistic. It's just mean toward you.
Okay, hold up.
First off,
oh no!
Lav. Let me defend what I said because I said it, and then afterwards you can rebut.
When you insult people, it's fractally infinitely complex and nuanced. But when somebody insults you, it's
I'd
fucking
appreciate it if
simple,
the
guys.
white women would stop.
No,
I'm sorry.
No.
All right, here we go. White women overshadowing
I'll pay
the
my
black man.
reparations. I'll pay my reparations.
Right,
Ab, I give you my
privilege as a black person to speak now.
Let me before I lose my
Look
train
what you
of
did,
thought,
Destiny's
because
having.
Let her talk. Why would you interrupt just to make a joke? Go, Lav, go.
She's so fucking
Sorry,
bad.
go.
No, I actually do want to say something.
I
made a statement.
You already said something.
Abba, hold on to it for a second. I don't want to lose my train of thought and my vigor. Okay?
What?
All right, go ahead.
Excuse me?
Go ahead, use your vigor.
Kyla, I think
What just happened?
All right, I'll just go.
I think
just Abba go.
Abba, can you just leave? Yeah, I just need you to leave. It's too much for us.
Kyla, I think I've taken your criticism really well. Are you open for me to maybe give you some criticism the way that I would not be true?
You keep saying these things like it's obvious to everyone else, and it's like obviously I've taken your criticism so well.
I'll grant her. She's actually taken my criticism really well. I'll fully give her.
Okay, go ahead. Give criticize her, please.
Okay,
Erudite, she needs criticism.
Okay.
Criticism.
No. Destiny, I'm not even joking. Okay, so when I said that Destiny is going on this whole anti-misogyny arc where he's trying to bring on positive reinforcements of women to make coherent arguments and then basically show the audience that they're not all. What I'm trying to say is the issue with Lav is not that she's a woman, therefore she's hated. She's just a hateable person. So bringing her on as an example to not think poorly of women when you're trying to go through this arc is just the worst example.
Big if true.
It's not even that Lav is particularly hateable.
No, she is hateable. She is hateable.
No.
To the audience, she is hateable.
Stop. It's not even true. It's just that she entered a highly discerning space on a soapbox on a bunch of topics that were like not super well thought out because Lav is just learning about them. And this just happens to be the gauntlet on the internet. Like the Destiny space is just the gauntlet when it comes to these topics, social topics, political topics. And she came with 2 barrels fully loaded full of cheese, and everybody knew it was cheese but her. And then when people were bringing up counterexamples to some of her ideas, or I guess counter narratives, or some opposing ideas, or contradictions, perceived contradictions. Lav wanted to sort of default to saying, like, yeah, but nothing I said was really wrong, and these aren't contradictions. And it was just like a silly, sort of foolish way to do that. But she entered the fucking Shark Tank, man. Like.
No, she didn't just enter. No, stop. Everybody. She didn't just enter the Shark Tank. Okay, we need to stop this weird narrative. She came in with a harpoon. Turned out it was loaded full of cheese, like you said. She fired it. Then she said, "I don't know what the fuck I'm doing." And so people were like, "Okay, fine." And then she's like, "Actually, 95% of what I said was true."
That's what she's
saying. No. So let's be honest.
It's not even that.
Okay, so let's be honest. No. I want to finish. So let's just be honest. She is absolutely hateable. It has nothing to do with her being a woman. Like I said, she reminds me of Sneeko, but with a wig. And they're both very hateable people, and they're both very hated on the platform. So it's not about misogyny or anything like that. I'm just saying, if Destiny's trying to go through... No, I'm going to finish, because you always tell me to shut the fuck up and don't interrupt you. So I'm going to tell you, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
When Destiny goes through this arc where he says anti-misogyny and he wants to bring on positive reinforcements, Lav is the last person I would bring on to do and reinforce that. That was the point I was making. Now, if you see that's misogyny, that's your problem.
No, but
I would also say
that's such stupid. That's oh my god.
No,
that's so bad.
It's absolutely.
I would also say, as a matter
That's
of
your opinion. That's your opinion.
The reason it was reinforcing misogyny is
being
because you were saying that you were preaching feminism and saying that the only reason anybody hates you or criticizes you is because you're a woman, and that's not true. It's because of your ideas and the half-baked nature of it. Because
her ideas no. This is bullshit. Her ideas are actually pretty strong. Her fucking rhetoric is what's weak.
Same thing.
Yeah.
No, that's what he's referring to.
It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. First of all, I have not been debating for very fucking long. My ideas are very apt. I just don't have the fucking language or vocabulary.
That's not it. You're working your way.
Yeah. So out of the Steel Man that I read, what's your objection?
This is another Supreme. I haven't moved that much. I don't understand this narrative that I've moved much. I think that when I restarted,
because you're deferential in the second conversation. That's all it is. It's optics. It's rhetoric.
It's not even that. It's just
I know.
how
I
you
think
handle yourself in public. And the fact of the matter is, you need to be able to not only have a good idea, but be able to explain it effectively and clearly.
Well, no. That's not the problem. The problem is a lack of a little bit of humility when discussing these topics, for the very first time.
Right?
I think that's also true.
Literally the obligation of the presenter is to explain it in a way that connects with the audience.
I think
that's on you.
What? I think I hadn't earned my smugness yet, but I will.
Okay.
Exactly.
And one of the things that Darius said, one of the things that Darius said was basically like, "Oh, it's a fucking revelation that you should treat other people the way that you should be treated." And basically, I think that's like one of the main things that's probably missing from the rhetoric is reciprocity. If somebody takes a massive shit on you, you go after them. But until they do that, you basically have to approach them with a level of good faith. Otherwise, the audience is going to fucking cannibalize you.
Sure.
Yes, I agree.
I'm referring to Madame Genevieve in this situation.
So just in a more productive light, Destiny, if you had to give advice to anybody who's about to join the space and engage in spicy political takes, what would be some advice you would give to them to not be instantly hated in this community, man or woman or other?
I think the most important thing is to know what you know and to know what you don't know. If you feign confidence over a topic, the audiences are big enough that you're always going to get sniffed out, and then it's going to be a fucking catastrophe. And then have some level of humility. But I mean, like, you don't have to do that. You just have to be willing to accept the consequences otherwise. So something that Lav says a lot is like, well, this is just the way that I am. And I think that's fine. I think it's funny. I like it. I like screaming at Lav. I like calling her a dumb bitch. And I like getting into fucking fights with her. That's fun for me. And I think to some extent, I think she enjoys going back and forth with some people. But the only issue is that if you're going to go back and forth in that way, you have to be ready for people to really hate you. Like, I'll do that, and I'll do that with people. But I know that if I do that, especially if I'm in another community, I know that people are going to be going fucking wild, hating on me. And that's just part of the deal. So just, if you want to act in a certain way, you can do it. Just be ready for the blowback. That's all I'm saying.
I also would say, just to speak to like Lavs, like genuinely being in this space, especially as a woman in like a very political debate sphere, like there is less wiggle room in, like, when women fuck up, I think it's a bigger failure. People get more angry. And so this isn't to say that Lav hasn't fucked up by any means, but there is kind of this like difficulty that women have navigating in the space that is like very real.
That's true, but I wouldn't even consider that anymore because I think that
I don't know how true that is.
No, I think there's some truth to it, but as soon as you start considering, you lose the ability to.
Come on.
What?
I think you just kind of have to accept it as part of like the deal, and also just kind of accept that you're going to get. I think you should accept that you're going to get a certain amount of hate, and I don't think you should even try to avoid it at a certain point.
Wait, I'm actually curious. So Supreme, I feel like you're going to disagree with the idea that women get hate on the basis of them being women. Why is that? And then ladies respond. In this community specifically. Okay, ladies, do you guys feel that way? Do you feel like DGG just hates you guys unfairly because you're women?
No, I think it's a little bit more difficult to analyze because what's really going on is that like there's kind of this box that it seems like women can occupy within like the at least I don't want to say the DGG space because then it sounds like I'm blaming Destiny's community for this. It's for sure just like the political debate space, right? Where like the box that women can occupy is a little bit more rigid and it's a little bit more like unforgiving. However, there's like other things that men have to deal with, and I would argue as a woman, if you talk about that box a lot and then blame a lot of like the attacks that you're getting on that box, then you're kind of missing the plot because it's like, yeah, there is a little bit of things as a woman that you have to do that like maybe need to be above reproach that maybe a guy wouldn't have to. I think you can see in like how people responded like Brittany Simon or Lauren Southern versus like Nick Fuentes and stuff like that. However, it doesn't mean like you just blame it all on that.
Supreme, I just did a search on the subreddit on DGG.
Let me ask a question.
But I just want to reply to Supreme real quick. Supreme, I did a search on the subreddit, and there was a thread that says like, "Hey, ladies on DGG, do you guys feel like there's a tremendous amount of misogyny?" And overwhelmingly, a lot of the responses from the women was like, "Yes, they've seen it increase over time. They feel less welcome in this space." And so I wonder, what do you say to that?
And then also, real quick, just adding to Abba's point, that's the women that are left. So the women that are left are saying there's a lot of misogyny. That's not kind of the ones that have been chased out because of it. But go ahead.
So all I can do is assess sort of my read on the pulse of how people feel about this sort of the female content creators or the women content creators that come through here. And I feel like Erudite is like a really strong counterexample to the idea that DGG is like particular. Because I feel like Erudite is particularly beloved and like almost universally.
But why?
Sure, but it's because she understands the box. No, it's because she understands the box and she wants to stay in it. I don't give a fuck.
Jesus.
Okay. Ooh, tell him, Lab. No. Let her finish. Let her finish.
I was trying so hard.
She understands the box because she's very intelligent, obviously.
She knows her place.
She wants to get her message across, and she's optimizing the way that she says it so that the most people listen to her. This is smart. This is what you should do.
Stardust
this is what you should do.
Let
me
finish. Let finish her thing real quick. Go.
This is the way that I see it. Because I can appreciate that and I think that it's useful. But this is, to me, this is like the argument where like, should black people wear their natural hair at work? I'm like, obviously we know they're going to be taken more seriously when they do keep their hair kempt, when they talk more professionally. But should we
Don't you see how sexist this is about what you're saying about me, though? You're basically accrediting like no.
Okay,
hold on. Let me respond. Let me respond.
Okay, we'll go to Kyla and then we'll go to Supreme.
Thank you.
I like how we have like 3 moderators in here.
Yeah, that's awesome. We should open it up to the floor and the folks at home.
We'll go to Kyla, Supreme, and then Counter, and then Esports back.
Thank you.
Can I
issue is
also
like,
add my name?
If you're characterizing why like DGG loves me so much, which to be fair, like when the Max Styles were raging, I was not super popular in a lot of the DGG subreddits. But
I don't
like,
think that was.
Let her finish.
The issue is you're basically attributing a large portion of my success to basically the fact that I'm a woman who's like willing to play ball and play within the rigid walls, which is like fully discrediting every other thing that I do.
That's absolutely
that I think,
true.
Like,
Yeah, if anything, she called there real misogyny here. That's absolutely true. I don't know why Destiny, whoever the fuck is said, like, oh, there's no misogyny. You're absolutely right. Like, she's absolutely right.
I think people like me because I'm like super empirical. I typically bring like 5 to 6 studies per debate. I'm really well read. Like, I think there are other things going on. I'm a little bit quirky.
Well, no, laugh. Let her finish. No, laugh. Let her finish.
You have to be the best.
Lab. Fucking Christ. 2 minutes without you fucking piping up. Just shut the fuck up and listen.
All right, go ahead, Kyla.
It, like when you say that basically like the reason I'm so successful is because I'm so willing to play ball and like fall into like the woman box so well and I'm like nice about it. is the same thing that when like men come to me and say the only reason I'm successful is because I have simps. It's like basically fully deriding and undercutting everything else I do, which I would argue like a large portion of my success is like I've tried really hard. I got myself on Fresh and Fit.
Yes.
Like I fly to places. Like I work really hard at this stuff. It's not just because I'm like a nice girl who's willing to play ball. I mean all the damn time.
Yes, that's not what I was saying. I'm sorry. What I meant, I know that this is trying to, I know that what I just said maybe came off as that you were like a pick me. That's not what I meant. What I meant is that you are what, I mean, you have to look at it. You are what men hold the standard to. Like you are. You're obviously, I mean, you went on Fresh. Part of the reason why you went on Fresh and Fit is because, yeah, you're confident, you're well-read, you're very intelligent. I don't think that you're that problematic, right? I think that that's what you are naturally. I don't think that you're overextending yourself, but I think that because you're held to this standard, you're holding other women to the standard, which I think is problematic. And Brittany talked to you about this.
What? How is it?
How do you think my career would be easier if I just played the girl club? Like, wouldn't my career be so much easier if I played the girl club or was willing to throw other women under the bus?
I don't think you're playing to. I don't think that you're playing to anything. I think that you already exist within these confines. But there are women who don't exist within these confines that you shouldn't throw under the bus because they are not like you, Kyla.
I don't throw them under the bus. I've spent more than anyone. I have spent more than anyone. I have defended you in this conversation and done like so. I don't throw women under the bus.
I'm not attacking you.
Okay.
I'm saying
there's an easy way to
It's laughing so hard.
Conversation.
Lav, do you think that the standard that Erudite is setting is too high? Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't think she's setting it. I don't think she's setting it. The problem is that I don't think that I should have to act a certain way.
He gave you an out, and you didn't take it.
With
he threw you the ladder to get out of the water. Those deep, fucking cold waters you're in, lady. And you took that. You burned that fucking ladder. What the fuck is my internet fucking up, dude? What is happening?
Within a grain as seriously. The fact that me and Sneeko are even held on the same fucking like
that insults you?
Listen,
could it be because your behavior is similar?
Retarded and smug.
I don't
Stop, Darius, stop.
Darius, shut the fuck up.
Darius, you stress me out, bro.
I do not think that our behavior is similar at all. I think that we're both young, maybe arrogant, sure. But I think that the ways in which we handle criticism, very different. I think that the ways in which we communicate, very different. I think this is just true. This is just true.
No.
Yeah, but the difference isn't that I'm willing to play ball. The difference is like, I guess you could argue I'm more professional in like my engagement, but you're basically saying like people should just be fine with me like being like immature. It's like, yeah, but people.
No, but that's, oh my God. What are, maybe I'm
here all night.
Maybe I'm
Lab, the issue here is you need to accept that you're going to be hated at a certain.
Okay, hold on, wait, stop. Hold on, stop. Moderator, hey, whoa, my channel.
I'm going to
my
bed.
channel.
I'm going to bed.
Love you.
Yeah, I'm going to bed.
Good night. Okay.
Bye.
Okay, I'm gonna steal Man Lab's point because fuck Erudite. She's gone on Trek for too long. Okay, I think that to be favorable to what Lab is trying to say is that when people say that like, oh look, Erudite, that's a good example of a woman. Okay. Erudite is literally somebody that broke onto the space, making a name for themselves, talking about like men incel issues and being the most compassionate, kind, understanding person to incel men possible, while also being, while slightly aggressive, also like incredibly respectful, incredibly like nice to people and understanding and doing her best to navigate the conversation. So it seems like while Erudite has done a lot to build her own reputation, she does a lot of work, she brings all of her studies, it's great. She exists within like the pretty narrow expected confine of like what is a respectful, successful woman supposed to look like, whereas the confine of what a man can look like is way, way, way broader, and Erudite is occupying the narrow space of like, this is what a successful woman looks like in this space. And I think what Lab was pushing back is the idea like, well look, you just need to be like Erudite, and it's like, okay, men can exist from 0 to 100, women can exist from 90 to 100, and Erudite is existing at like 98, and that's like a rough comparison. I think that was the point that was being made.
I have a question to all of you. Lab, you said earlier on Twitter, you pointed out that you were autistic. Do you think the fact that you're neurodivergent plays a role in the type of standard that you're being held to? And do you think that perhaps this community is somehow biased or will work against you because of that neurodivergency?
Well, I don't think that, I don't think a lot of people believe me when I say that I'm autistic, but then their criticism of me is always like, God, she's so fucking stupid talking to people, and I'm like, okay.
they're talking about the substance of your argument and the value of like your commentary. They're not saying that you have some mental deficiency or something like that.
No. I think a lot of what my problem.
It's hard to believe that when continually she gets called retarded.
I think that socially, nice. I think okay,
Very
whatever.
nice.
This is a nothing conversation. I don't want to go into I feel like this will very easily go into a victimization point. I think what Counterpoint said is correct. I think that regardless of what any of you think, I do have really good points. I am not the best at discussing those points yet. I'm learning. I'm entering the debate sphere. I need to learn how to be less smug, obviously. I need to learn how to, even the way that Steven just steelmanned me, exactly what I meant to say, he just said it better. I just need to be better at saying what I need to say.
So going back to what...
Oh, fuck.
Let's take a minute.
Go ahead, buddy.
Counter go. No, wait. Counter go.
Okay. So to steelman further, so women in this space have to be competent, intelligent, speak on the subject that you have expertise on, don't venture outside of your box, and be assertive without being a bitch. This is what Lauren does well too. Well, it fucking doesn't hurt, I'll tell you that. So so the argument is whether or not women have to fit that mold, or can they be allowed to be stereotypically like fluffy, girly, bouncy, interrupt, be assertive and kind of bitchy and all that kind of stuff. And Lav actually said something that I disagree with is I shouldn't have to act a certain way to participate in the space. I'm saying this space, will demand that of you. If you want to be a competent male debater, it will demand that of you.
Yeah.
And if you want to be any level of not being sexist to as a female, and I'm sure even Erudite, despite her professional demeanor and her fitting the box that I've just described, I'm sure she still experienced fucking you just succeed because of your looks, etc. Blah blah blah.
Of course. Yeah, I think that's true. I also didn't mean to say that it was like 0 or 100. I think that I can adapt to the space and also still resent the space, right? Like
sure. just like sex work, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
I guess can I clarify what your criticism of me? Because I would say the criticism that Steven outlined, I also outlined before, basically being like, yeah, there is this much more narrow rigid. For example, the way people react to you.
I don't think it's a
versus
criticism.
The way people reacted to.
Well, it feels like within there's
acknowledge, like you won't acknowledge that it's there. In like
well, she absolutely hold on.
She in a way that satisfied.
I did before anyone.
In a way that satisfied me.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's a you issue.
So
maybe it is.
What would satisfy you more? Like if I just talked about it more often? Because I talk about it regular. Most incel streams, I end by talking also about like women, because like in all of this like men's health advocacy stuff that I do, I'm not willing to throw women under the bus or like build into this like misogyny arc. Like I don't want to be just purely things where I'm just being like, yeah, aren't women trash? I don't want to do that because I think like people are missing out on the big part, which like women aren't trash. Like the feminine thing is great. Having people who are just like kind and empathetic is fucking based, by the way, right? So like, what more? I don't know what else I could do.
Sure.
Oh, can I be an asshole for a second? Erudite, can't you see, like, personality-wise, if I asked you, would you say that throughout the entirety of your life, you've occupied masculine and feminine spaces perhaps a little bit more adeptly than other people around you?
My entire life, I spent basically holistically rejected from the church and from my space because I wasn't a woman that was like willing to be quiet, be passive, and be meek. I was very aggressive, very dominant, and tended to like wanted to fight people. So like I've spent my whole life not fitting into the box ever. So like I think maybe now I do in this fucking space. That's nice.
But do you feel adept at fitting into both as an adult?
No, I really do struggle. Like I'm way better. Most of my friends are women and stuff, but I've always struggled a little bit with the feminine space for sure. Because I don't find it as like my interests tend to fall more into the masculine spaces.
But okay. Here's why I bring this up. Nice. This is why I have this read on the community, because I feel like, dude, fucking when my first exposure to DGG was, I think like trying to keep Destiny's finger off the trigger and saying that Katarana was trying to do some Game of Thrones shit to Prime Kai and Dylan Burns or something like that, right? Now, I did receive like some response of people calling me a simp or whatever the fuck, and like some people were really schizo about it. It was literally like 2 people out of thousands, and I feel like anybody could have been saying the things, Lav, that you were saying, and been a man, been the biggest, strongest, burliest, most chiseled man, and there would like chat would still be rife with Pepe W's and Omega Lols and people calling them dumb fucks, because it happens all the time. No,
I don't believe to the same extent.
Listen. I've been online for 6 years. I've built up a plentiful platform. This is like the first time I'm coming in with like nothing. I'm building from the ground up. But I've had a platform for a very long time. I understand online hate. I understand all of it.
But this is not like other spaces you've been to, is what I'm saying. So specifically,
sure. But also, I think that what people are grouping me in with the exact same energy that Max had towards Steven.
I fucking try me.
No, they are.
Okay, also real quick, you guys are finishing your shit and I gotta leave, okay? It's fucking 10:24. Go ahead.
No, they are. I think that I can have criticisms about the way that I go on the subreddit and there were like 70 posts a day about having
because you were showing up a lot and because of
no. You let me finish. Let me finish. I've already fucking said this a billion times.
Max too. He's not
there is no. Oh my god, they were not doing it at the same rate for Max, and it was not spoken in the same fucking way. I can deal with criticism. I like criticism. I read the subreddit for a reason. I take the criticism.
What was the difference between the way that people were talking about Max?
Guys, let her finish, please.
I take the criticism and I apply it. It's a difference when you go on and everyone's saying, oh, like people only listen to her or Steven only has her on because he wants to fuck her. That is so different than anything that has ever been said about any man in the fucking space, even though Steven goes both ways.
Stop. Has Steven had anything? Hold on. Has Steven had anything to do with that though?
No, and I
you don't think? Okay, we have an emote in DGG. It's called Nathan W. Like Steven has built a reputation for himself that that has nothing to do with you necessarily.
No,
I shouldn't say it has nothing to do with you.
And I never said it was unique. And I never said it was unique to me. I think it's unique in the way that it is played out.
Commenting on Steven's tendencies and like motivations based on a history of his conduct and maybe like conversations.
Jesus Christ, you make me sound like a fucking rapist.
Yeah, holy shit.
Not that I'm saying that they have like a ton of merit or whatever, but it's a community meme because of
Stop.
The
okay,
history of their life or whatever, right?
I don't care if it's a meme. That's like
I'm saying it's because of Steven. It's not because of women.
Tell him that he's minimizing.
I mean, I do agree with Lab. Like,
that's not a good meme. It shouldn't exist.
True.
I think like Lab, for example, like if you point at the community when you're talking about the community at large, I think that there is this bias that's going on. This is why, for example, when you point to like the response that like people have had to Lauren Southern versus Nick Fuentes, a lot of people don't like Nick Fuentes, but there's a lot of those like he's so cute. Whereas like overall, like even when people give Lauren credit, it feels like they don't give her nearly enough credit that like she probably deserves a lot of the time.
I have the exact opposite read of this. I think people by and large respect Lauren more than they respect Nick Fuentes in this community. Personally, that's my like. Listen,
I think that's ridiculous.
But I'm not talking about like whether they respect them. I would agree that they probably respect Lauren's actual positions more because she's more moderated in general. But what I'm saying is when you look at, for example, the subreddits, not just DGG, by the way.
Her positions, her conduct as well.
Yes. What I'm saying
they view her more favorably?
No, they view Nick Fuentes more favorably, for sure. Based on who he is compared to Lauren Southern.
No, I think it's the other way around, personally.
I think for these two characters, I think a lot of it has had to do with their actual actions. Because, like, people roasted Lauren a lot over her fucking excursions in the Mediterranean. And people roasted Nick a lot for his, like, January 6th shit and the other questionable Nazi shit. Like, I feel like these two people have been, like... I think... I don't want to talk about this too. I think that most of the sexism that we have now in the community, it comes in the form of either benevolent sexism or like this type of just kind of like weird, like ironic sexism that's still sexism.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's the issue, right? Like there's the gloves off sexism, which is just like
misogyny in effect. But I think when we're talking about misogyny in the community, I think the conversation is meant to sort of indicate intention or some underlying distaste or disdain for women or something.
No, but that's the issue is that it doesn't have to be intention. That's the fucking annoying part. So here are some. I'm banning everybody. I don't know why there are 20 people here. Okay, hold on. This is the issue, okay? Here's the way that a lot of sexism shows up in my community that's fucking annoying, okay? And I don't know how to moderate against it because you can't. You guys just have to do it yourselves, okay? When a girl starts talking in a Discord, everybody can't be fucking virtually staring at this person waiting for her to open her mouth or say something. It's fucking weird, okay? The idea that when you go into a Discord and you start talking and you're a woman and you know you're gonna get at least 2 DMs from guys that are trying to hit on you afterwards and they'll do it in the most innocuous way, that can't happen, okay? This is the type of behavior that happens that isn't really sexist and you can't really call it out and you can't really say that somebody's doing something wrong. They're not really breaking any rules. But it's this type of behavior that happens and happens and happens and kind of like pushes women out of these communities, because as soon as they join, they feel like fucking freak shows. Like that's the type of shit that needs to be pushed out against. Not people saying like, oh, you're a cunt, you're a bitch, or whatever.
Also, I want
to reply because I haven't had a chance to speak. I just want to say, Steven, to your point.
I'm the woman. Let me speak.
And I'm the black man. I want to speak on this too.
He outranks you right here. There's more women than black people here. Go. Real quick, Abba, go.
I was going to say, I understand what you're talking about, Steven, but I think the outcome that you want is one that is not humanly possible. In communities this large, where you have this many men and women, it's just like having a workplace and having an anti-fraternization policy. You can put it in place, you can legislate against it, but the fact is, people are going to flirt, and they're going to make jabs, and they're going to make approaches at people they're around as often as possible. Well, I'm not saying it's going to be true for all people, but with a community as big as this one, I think it is virtually impossible to have it set up this way, and then have people not be approached or not be DM'd often.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But the problem is that I don't have a problem with people like flirting, or I don't have a problem with people doing whatever. The problem that you're running into are like Discord queens and princesses. The problem is that there are so few women in the space that they're treated so differently. You're obviously never going to be able to stop flirting or all of that completely, but if the space was more women and more men together, then the creepy behavior would go down because women wouldn't be such a fucking novelty. Like there is a phenomenon, and I've seen it happen firsthand, and I don't know if this happens in every Discord, but in any Discord that I've ever casually wandered into, there is this phenomenon where every Discord has like these 1 or 2 queens, but when they start talking, they've got like 3 or 4 male defenders who are like harping on every single word, where people treat them differently, where they literally have like this kingly fucking status, and it happens because there's so few women. So all I'm saying is like if we can increase the amount of women, the creepy behavior will kind of decrease because they're not going to be such a novelty. That's
no, you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? This is literally what's going to happen. There's going to be women who are going to rise to the top, and they're going to still be treated as queens, and there's going to be the ones below them who are not going to get that special treatment. The kind of thing you're describing does not disappear because there's less women or there's more women. What you're describing is literally natural selective behavior in regards to how mating strategies work. People are trying to curry favor from these women because deep down inside they need that validation, or they want that validation from the opposite sex.
Okay,
so what you're seeing. Well, okay.
But the issue
I understand with what you're saying. I understand. Hold on, wait. Hold on, because I don't know much time, and this is fucking triggering me. Okay.
I'm out of here.
I understand. Okay. I understand what you're saying, Abba. Okay. There's going to be some different way that men treat women. Okay. But a woman that walks into a high school class with 50-50 male and female is going to be treated a lot differently than a woman that walks into a comp sci class with 95% men. That's what I'm saying. I want to get to the 50-50 treatment where, yeah, there are still some creepy guys, and yeah, guys still simp over girls, and yeah, there's still people hitting each other. That's fine. I just don't want it to be such a fucking novelty where you have the literal, actual fucking queens where every single woman is like hit on, flirted with, and seen as this like rare novel thing. That's what I want to avoid. I understand that there's always going to be some level of
acquisition. Yeah, and one way,
if I could just throw in, there's kind of 2 prongs of sexism that are getting tackled. So like Steven's talking about like the like negative part of it, of like women being like dismissed and a bit of the queen, but there's this other thing that happens on the other side, which essentially like women are asking for basically like all of the respect but want none of the responsibility. That's why like we do have kind of the meme of being like, I said this really terrible thing about a man, teehee ooh oopsie, right? And it's like that's a problem. And so like I don't know how to fix this. I don't know if like banning just misogynistic jokes is like going to be the solution necessarily either, because there's these 2 layers of sexism going on, which is both undercutting us if we like fuck up, right, and dismissing us, but then there's this also thing where we're lauding and basically we get to say whatever we want and we have all of the respect but no responsibility with it. So there's like 2 edges going on.
So what if women are just like that?
Because you can't prescribe anything like serious, like a moderation thing or like a bannable offense thing. This is why this was my gripe with Steven, was when I was talking about, okay, because you can't do anything like actionable in like a big way, you can start to move the cultural conversation. You can start to, stop calling me a dumb bitch on stream. You can do all these things. Or even like when Sneeko comes in and is like, what are you wearing? You guys reacted perfectly to that. Be like, okay, dude, what the fuck? Like, those are things that you can do to mitigate the risk in your community. You don't need a huge actionable ban.
But then we have to attack you when you say dumb fuck things. We have to do both. If we're going to say that we're protecting you from all this, I also have to be like, stop saying dumb fuck shit.
Then call me a retard.
Base. Ableism, yes.
You calling me a dumb bitch? You calling me a dumb bitch different than saying retard. It just is.
Okay, hold on. If you want to make that rule, Lab, that's fine. But Lab, if you want to make that rule, that's fine. But you can never say bitch in here ever again, ever, to anybody.
Well,
I disagree.
I don't care if you're a woman.
Nice. I'm a woman.
I don't count as a woman. I don't count as a
Hold on,
woman.
listen, Abba has gone this entire time without saying the N-word.
Abba call you the N-word?
Abba has gone this entire time. No, and unironically, hold on. Unironically, if racism was a problem with Discord, I have no problem with that because you know what? Fuck black people that say that they can say the N-word all the fucking time they want, blah 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 blah, and it's bad if anybody else says it. Okay, so if that was a huge problem in the community, I would say no N-words at all. Period.
Since then, I haven't called anyone a bitch. I'd like to explain because I think that was apt criticism. I think that was apt criticism. I don't think that we should use gendered terms like that anyway.
Okay, cool.
But I think
you said I'm a woman. You just offended yourself.
Rob, no one is talking about ableism here. We're all ableist here. Okay.
Okay. Wait a minute. I think in this case,
you need to fucking timestamp that.
Everyone's speaking. Hold on. Everyone's speaking at the same time.
Let's open it up to the floor.
Wait,
I'm going to fucking eat
you guys love to do this.
Lav, you talk like 80% of the fucking time.
Yeah,
no,
that is
I
true.
don't.
Yes, you do. You do. Stardust, go ahead. Lav, let's start to speak.
Okay, so I honestly, I think that misogyny is fine as long as I can like make jokes about men too. But the thing is that we have like misogyny jokes are like totally fine in this sphere. But as soon as I make a joke about a dude, everybody in my chat's like, "Oh my God, Stardust, how could you do that? Oh my God!" And
one false allegation.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Well, no,
Hold up, Lav,
chill.
Nice.
Lav, I will own up that was
We're not relitigating your personal shit. Go.
Yes,
Between you two.
Yeah.
Go.
Move on.
Yeah, I don't think we give a fuck.
Go.
I just think it's that your jokes about men aren't that good. I saw you on Twitter. You look familiar now. You tweeted like, why don't you just put your tits out? Why don't you just be a
tweeted about you having
person?
your tits out. I thought it was hilarious. My chat thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
but anyway,
nobody else did. That's why it doesn't really. Yeah.
I think Stardust is like funny and like wacky and goofy, and I think that's like a thing that people really
wacky and
value
goofy
in Stardust.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Sneeko, some people watch you and think you're juvenile in your humor. Everyone's got different sensibilities.
Yeah,
I
think that it's funny to comment on dudes having their nips out on stream, okay? I think that's funny, but people are like, "Oh no, Stardust, how could you do that? Oh no." And it's like, okay, I'm fine with you all calling me a dumb bitch. I just want to have the same ability to call you all a bunch of dumb bitches too.
Facts. Sure. Yeah, I think Sneeko's at his funniest when he's doing his Tate impression with the cigar. I'm not gonna lie, that's my favorite Sneeko.
Oh, that's him.
I do talk about deporting men too, you know, so I think that's funny too. But
deporting men to where?
I don't know. I think men, like I do the whole like men commit a disproportionate amount of violent crimes, so we should just get rid of them. Blah blah blah. You know, that kind of thing. So.
The thing that frustrates me about you, Lav, is that you'll come here and make some pretty good arguments against the way that the community is moderated and how we basically allow, shallow sexism to persist. And then you completely throw away all of your credibility and seemingly good intentions by saying, well, I don't give a shit about disabled people. We can say retard all we want.
Nice.
Because she's right. But
all right, Rem, you've hit your note. No, it doesn't need to be said again.
Destiny, I just want to ask you one question. Earlier, you were talking about the fact that if you get a good ratio in regards to men and women in the space, that you'll be able to remove this kind of yes queen phenomenon, correct?
I didn't say remove it, but it would get better, yeah.
Okay, so my question to you is, do you not feel, maybe I'm not aware of this, but outside of like the hyper-feminist Hassan types who just cater and pander and bend over for ladies all the time, what male-oriented, not male-oriented, but just what male streamer do you know that engages in these kind of political spheres that gets a fan base that is as, that hits the ratio that you're describing?
None.
Okay, so I'm asking you, how do you see yourself ever creating that world?
Because I've already been a trendsetter on a lot of things. Nobody my size, my space, was able to grow a trans community before I did. I probably have more fucking trans people right now than any other fucking person on the platform. Jesus Christ. Okay, these motherfuckers are lurking everywhere. Okay, I've got so many Alarias and all the names that trans people pick in my fucking Discord. I think like half my fucking Discord moderation staff are trans women. Okay, I got a ton of them in my community. Okay, I was also literally the first large streamer in 2013. You can find the article on my fucking website where I said I'm not gonna say faggot anymore. I was the first one that did that like 5 years before Twitch made it a fucking rule, and I had a community that didn't engage in that type of language before any other large streamer did. And I think that I'm not. Yeah, retard. Come back in 2025, okay? I have a huge community. I have the ability to be a trendsetter, and this is one of the things that I want to trendset on, and I think I can do it. I believe in my ability to bring more women into the space. I've got a lot of women that talk to me and say like, hey, if only this would change or that would change, this would be cool or whatever. It's like, okay, cool, we can do that. I think I can change that. Okay. Yeah. I think it's possible. Okay. Yeah.
If you think you believe,
okay, so
let's do it.
I actually have a question. I have a question about this. So for instance, like we're catering to a lot of folks like Lauren Southern or to Erudite. who already have the vernacular and aptitude to be in this space and throw some elbows, take names, all that kind of stuff. But what you're talking about as a project is going to involve making the space more like hospitable to people like Lav, who might have stereotypically more like feminine traits. So, are you not going to absolutely alter the fucking debate space by making it less
Brittany
abrasive?
Simon is the perfect.
Wait, hold on, wait. You didn't even finish this. Wait, Jesus, fuck.
Yeah,
Let him finish his. What did you say? Are you going to alter
I was
the
just
debate
going to
space?
say, are you not going to change the dynamic of the space because it's going to be infinitely less abrasive, which is part of what people find attractive about it in the first place?
I think that women can deal with abrasion, and it's going to be like slightly fewer women because of the general trends of like what women prefer. But right now, there are a lot of things. I used to think that like women don't like debate spaces because they probably aren't as into politics as much as men, and they probably don't like combative like conversation styles as much as men. Both of those things are true, but there's a lot of stuff that exists right now about like my space that has nothing to do with that. And so like one of the things is guys sending creepy DMs to women every single time they're in the Discord. Another thing might be like guys obsessing over women talking in voice chat every single time they're in Discord. One thing might be like people like fucking Sneeko who go too hard on women to prove that they're not simps. Like that's another form of like stuff that happens. Like there's all sorts of stuff like this that I think if it's removed from my Discord, more women will show up. I don't expect it to be fucking 50-50, okay? But I don't want it to be like one woman for every 250 guys. That's the only, like, that's the dream, okay?
90-10, 80-20?
Also because like, here's like another thing too, and I got this a lot when I did my canvassing stuff. When I did my canvassing and real life people showed up, every single time somebody said that, they said, oh my fucking God, how the fuck did you get so many men to show up for canvassing? Traditionally speaking, when it comes to charity and like canvassing and political work, it's like 95% women in those spaces, always. So they are politically involved in some areas, you just don't see it online as much. But I don't think it's just because it's ultra combative. I think it's because of the creepiness that like persists in these communities because they're so heavily male dominated.
Fuck me.
Sorry.
Okay. I did want to offer like other examples of other women creators in this space that I don't think, like, I think Brittany Simon is a good example. I wanted to bring her up earlier. And I do want to talk about Stardust.
Am I gonna
Stardust
fuck that
dynamic,
play
if you don't
that
mind.
bad?
But like these are people that exhibit
Fucking
other
had it.
tendencies other than being like hardcore, like super rigid sort of debaters or intellectuals or something like that. That seem to get along just fine and aren't criticized. You don't see like Reddit threads filled with hate for these people that are
Brittany had Brittany was I think Brittany was like the best example of like the sexism in my community. That was an unbelievable, just unreal.
Okay, you may have a better read on this, but my perception of that was like largely tied into her like bubble system and her level system, and it was substantial.
That's what I'm talking about.
It was
she had a bubble system and a level system that was people could criticize, but I'll stand by this till the day I die. 95% of the insane amount of vitriolic criticism that Brittany got revolved around the fact that she was a woman. If she was a guy, people wouldn't have cared anywhere near as much. It was unbelievable.
Need a faster way to destroy
I guess
fucking things
I missed
in
a
the
lot of that
field,
criticism.
the
I feel like
back
right now
rows.
Brittany Simon could
Decks
join
with
this call and it
backgrounds
would
like
feel
this.
natural.
Fuck.
And it
Yeah,
would
but
feel
that's
natural.
because Brittany is for as fucking stupid as my fucking community is. Brittany is an incredibly mature person when it comes to handling herself and online stuff. When Brittany started to get hate from the community, she didn't post, she didn't argue about it. She just like chilled, saw him, she pulled back a little bit, and then she came back, and everything is like generally chill because that's how internet communities go. That's kind of how you have to like buy your respect in after a while. Lauren Southern arguably did the same thing. I think they were posting like, "Where's Lauren at?" or whatever, because like when she engages with my community, she's not like on the subreddit fighting them. She's like, some of them hate me, some of them are assholes. I don't give a fuck. She moves back, she comes back, and things are generally okay. Like I think that when people engage and disengage and re-engage in this way, it's okay.
And it's also a reflection, or at the very least, I think that stuff is supported by your engagement with these creators as well. Like, you don't make it weird, the community.
True, but even like my ironic sexism jokes, like I think are play into it as much because like I make ironic sexism jokes, but I'm not sexist. But a lot of people make the jokes and they are sexist. Like when people say over and over and over and over again, like, "Oh, I love women" on every single fucking. By the way, if you post on my sub now, I permaban you for saying that now, or it's at least a 7-day ban when you say that. So any of that shit, like, "Oh, this person makes me love women so much," oh. Like, okay, dude, like yeah, you get banned. And I see those comments pop up everywhere, and it's basically just another way of saying like, look at this bitch cunt, bitch cunt, bitch. It's the same exact same thing. It's just like shielded now under some like weird fucking euphemism. Sorry.
Well, I think the idea is more like they want to criticize this person, but they're afraid of being called a misogynist.
No, but Dom, good. If you hold on, if you feel that way in my community, if you feel that way in my community that you're afraid to criticize a woman because you're gonna get banned, then I want you right now to shut my stream up and go the fuck away forever because you're so fucking retarded. I don't want you anywhere near any of my fucking content. I legitimately fucking hate you. Stop. Plenty of people can criticize women in my community, but if you start your criticism off with some shit like, I don't want to be called a fucking simp, so I'm gonna blah blah blah. I'm not even being sexist. Fuck you. There's plenty of people that not fuck you in particular, but there's plenty of people that criticize women. Okay.
In Supreme's defense, I actually agree with what he's saying. you are going on your anti-misogyny arc, and a lot of people are calling out misogyny when it isn't the case. Like Lav, where she's actually just detestable in some situations.
Yeah, Lav is not moderating my subreddit, though. I don't care what she thinks is misogyny.
No, but I think sometimes when people are seeing these kind of situations where they would otherwise be accused of misogyny for detesting someone validly, and then they get accused of misogyny for detesting her. Like, a lot of people have been given the moniker of misogyny for criticizing Lav openly, and I think that's quite unfair.
Wait, who, from me?
She has had a part in that, yes.
Okay, hold on. Just heads up. I'm the only person. This is my community. Max just learned this today. This is my community. I'm the only person whose opinion matters here. Okay, so if somebody else calls you misogynistic, who the fuck cares? No one cares. Well, unless the bear does or Forethought does. But like, no, if someone else calls you misogynistic, that's fine. Who do you think I've called misogynistic that I haven't been right to call misogynistic? Do you think I've done this?
I think it's about you. I don't think.
No, hold on. It is about me. It's my community. I'm the one who decides who bans people.
Some real contention here. Let me fucking represent my point. Fuck's sake. I don't need your help, Al, but thank you. Appreciate you. No, I think it's people worried about the fucking commentary that like your haters and like people that don't like you in your community, they'll make comments about how your community is misogynistic and they'll point to the fact that somebody criticized a woman. I don't think necessarily they're talking about
I don't care. Yeah.
Or saying that they're afraid of you or Forethought or the bear or something.
I Love Women doesn't look the exact fucking same. It's in-group signaling.
Yes, hold on. It is. Hold on. We know that. I already said that. Why the fuck is there a fucking echo in here that sounds like a spoiled Jewish girl?
Because you didn't get it. Because you didn't fucking get it.
Hold on. Listen, if I don't care ever what an outside community says about my community, fuck them all to hell. Okay, I super don't care. So if other people want to look at my community and say they're misogynistic, that's fine. 9 times out of 10, it's some creepy lefty dude that's trying to rape a woman anyway. Okay, I don't give a fuck.
I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying when people make the like "I love women" Bing Chilling joke or whatever, I think they're responding to those people, not necessarily you.
No, you're okay. I understand what you're saying now. I just didn't realize how wrong you were. They're saying it as a way to say "fuck women." That's what they mean when they say that. It's the joke.
No.
When a woman says something dumb, you're like, I love women. What you really want to say is this fucking woman. That's what you're saying. That's the joke. That is the joke.
No, I think they're saying this person is saying something worthy of criticism, but because there's this perception that you have a misogynistic space, I'm afraid to say it because, like, for fear of, you know,
for fear of what? I've never in my life banned. No one has gotten banned.
Stop. Not that they're afraid that you're going to do something that it's going to like garner negative attention for you and your community, and that you're going to
I love women.
No one does this.
But hold on, Destiny.
Never mind. Forget I said anything.
Okay, thank you. Yes, everybody forget what Supreme said. You're not going to get banned anywhere in my community for criticizing a woman.
I'm not saying they're worried about.
No one is going to say you're sexist for criticizing a woman. No one does that either.
Never mind. Forget it. You don't understand what I'm saying. Forget it.
Destiny, you're not hearing him. He's trying to explain to you why he thinks a lot of people are saying it in the community, and you're saying my opinion is the only one that matters.
No,
okay, so Lav knows and Destiny knows, but then Supreme doesn't know. How are you guys going to decide what the community is saying it for when he's trying to tell you as part of it? That's why they're saying it.
I live and breathe, Mike. I swim in the souls of DGers.
Pull them, then ask them. Okay?
Pull them and ask them what? Ask them if they're misogynistic. Why the fuck would I pull someone on that?
Ask them if the reason why they're saying I love women. Okay,
Abba, I'm gonna after and then after that we can pull police officers if they pull over black people because they really do look suspicious. Like, why the fuck would I pull my community on that? What do you mean?
Okay, so do you not see that you're kind of doing in a way what Mr. Girl does in terms of assuming the reasons why people are doing this in your community, where you're assuming the intent that they themselves don't ascribe to themselves. You're saying, I know what you're doing it deep down inside. The reason why you're doing it deep down inside is because there's some internalized misogyny that you haven't addressed, or maybe there's a way for them to be. I just want you. I'm just saying, maybe give your community a bit of credit in terms of the introspection they have. Maybe some of them are okay. All right, then don't.
Okay,
then don't.
Hold on. And wait, my problem with Mr. Girl isn't that you can never read anybody ever. Okay, if somebody's acting a certain way, you can very easily say, like, oh yeah, like this person is probably doing this thing. I'm not saying like Mr. Girl's bad because he makes reads on people. I'm saying Mr. Girl's bad because he'll see somebody pick up a flower and go, oh my god, this person is like crying over their lost innocence, and I just figured that out because I watched them for 2 seconds. That's my issue with Mr. Girl. Okay, it's a totally different thing. When my community overwhelmingly says I love women, and you can go through my Reddit and look, it's always there's a post about a woman that says something stupid, and the top comment is, oh my god, I love women. This is making me love women. Do you think they're saying that because they're scared to criticize her?
No.
Listen.
What?
Okay, the thread that you guys talked about,
yeah.
Where
I'm glad you understand what I was saying, Heva.
The thread that you guys talked about, where they asked a woman in this community, do you feel that this community's gotten more misogynistic? I think that thread is probably going to be the most valuable in this, because I think there's going to be, I think it's harder to kind of feel the effects of misogyny if you're not the one directly like affected by it. And I guess I would ask those people who say, the ones who say yes, I would ask them in what ways. In what ways are you experiencing misogyny? In what way do you think it's hostile?
I reject that notion. I do think it is extremely important. I do not think it's necessarily more important than the other side of it. You can make the case that people feel a tremendous amount of misogyny in the community and that it needs to be heard and addressed. Absolutely. But you also need to talk to the people that you are ascribing misogyny to understand where they're coming from. And if you're not going to do that, if you're not going to take their perspective into consideration, you're essentially just saying, I already know you better than yourself, and you are being bad faith in this conversation and won't admit to the misogyny that I'm ascribing to you. How do you think that's any way to have a conversation? Do not say that your perspective or the women's perspective is more important. Say that both sides need to come to the table and have that conversation. But I reject the notion that but that is what is implied when you say that.
That's what I won't just imply that. I will say that. I can see it. I see the misogyny. I can see into the fucking matrix. I know exactly where it is. I know exactly what it looks like. I don't give a fuck if somebody's like, I wasn't being misogynist. I just said, oh my god, this person makes me love women because I genuinely was scared of criticizing them. I don't care.
Someone in here defined misogyny because getting thrown out a lot. And you said that it was misogynist saying that I wanted to see what Lav was wearing.
It's a negative bias towards women.
It was misogynistic to say what you want to say because the only you care about Lav was whether or not she looked fuckable. It's cringe.
I want to turn her camera on. I want everybody to have their camera on. I want to be able to
you want to turn her camera on because you want to see if she's fuckable.
Even Abba's ugly ass. I want to see his anime looking wearing camera on. I want everybody to be able to see.
Don't think that they're racist, right? There are probably a lot of people who do racist things without thinking that they're racist.
Okay, a negative bias towards women. Don't we all have negative biases?
Am I fucking invisible? What's going on?
Most people don't.
No, not inherently. We're just talking about implicit bias.
On this one.
I mean, like, think about the guys that are online. It makes sense that they're all implicitly biased against women.
Okay, hold on. Stop. Hold on. Stop. Wait. Stop. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. We're in real. Wait. No.
Before you go on a rant.
Hold on. No, I'm not.
Wait. You're trying to ban people from saying I love women, but you can't ban the frustration with women. You can't ban the feeling.
Oh my god, don't go.
Let him finish talking so I can fucking scream at him. Okay.
We all look at difference with frustration. It's inherent in all of us.
That's
We're
great.
always gonna be that way.
Okay. Let's stop. Hold on. Stop.
This is the ideas.
Okay. This is adult politics time. Okay. This isn't the Matrix. Okay. That whole bullshit of like the world isn't fair, that might fly on Fresh and Fit, but in the real world, we take actions to make the world a fucking better place. That's why people with type 1 diabetes are rotting in the fucking street, okay? We make medicine for them. So in this community, there are issues, and it's not enough to just say, well, issues happen, so therefore they happen. You say, okay, well, what can we do to rectify it? Because that's what adults do, okay? So if there's misogyny in my community, or there's some underlying frustration, that's fine, but we deal with it like adults, like the best way that we can, so we try to get rid of the way that frustration comes out as much as possible. Yeah. That's what's happening here. It's not enough to just say, well, sometimes people are frustrated. That's fine. Don't take it out here. It's not my fucking problem, and it's not any woman in my community's fucking problem what your personal frustrations are with women, okay? That's my issue.
And that's why
what happens to people who are not able to express those opinions? Those people who are frustrated with women or frustrated with men, like, the same thing femcells. If they keep getting banned for having those ideas, what happens? You're trying to get it out of your community. Where do those feelings go?
I'm not you personally, but I'm not the therapist for any of these people. I'm not here, and more importantly, the women in my community are not here to help you work through your problems with women. That's not what my community exists for, and that's not what any fucking woman anywhere in the world wants to exist as a personal therapist for some guy that listened to too much Andrew Tate or whatever, and now thinks that women are out to get him all over the fucking world.
It's talking about therapy. It's just being able to make jokes about things.
You're asking for therapy. You're asking.
I was just about to say that's what makes Erudite so valuable.
I don't care. Then go do it in Erudites community. That's not what I'm fucking here for, and that's not what the women in my community are here for. Okay? If you've got problems to
therapy, Destiny.
What?
Making jokes saying I love women is therapy to you?
No, it would be like every single time you say something stupid, I say like, he's Haitian. What are you gonna do? If an entire community of people said that over and over again, at some point it starts to feel kind of shitty. Like, what the fuck? What do you mean by that? Right? Like, that's what I want to avoid people feeling like, especially women, because there's a reason why there's like 3% women in all these fucking spaces. So it's fucked.
Yeah.
Well, people won't keep saying that over and over again. They'll look at what you're saying.
Abba on this. Because Abba was saying, look, I understand that it feels like it feels like I am invalidating anybody else's opinion on what is misogyny, but I would say in the same sense that you wouldn't ask a bunch of people who are practicing racism whether they think they're practicing racism. Obviously, they don't think they are. Right? Most of the time they don't.
I would. And a perfect example of this is I remember when the maggot word was really popular. People sometimes just assumed or ascribed to some level of homosexual or whatever But the reality is when you use it in the gaming space or you're just doing that with your friends, you weren't necessarily ascribing that. Now, it can still make, you know, gay people feel incredibly uncomfortable, but there's a complete difference between an innate hatred of that group and you saying it in a context where you just think it's flippant or funny or whatever it might be. So I think those two distinct reasons for doing it really matter in this discussion, and without talking to them, you won't understand that. So that's what
and I agree. I don't think that people in my community hate women. I don't think the people that say like, "Oh, she makes me love women." I don't think they hate women. They're just they're engaging in forms of humor, and they have types of jokes, but they're otherizing.
Police comedy.
They're first of all, yeah, of course I can police comedy. If somebody comes to my community and thinks it's funny to spam the N-word, I'd probably police that. Yes, we can police comedy. It's fine.
Okay, so what is your community about then? You're saying your community is really anti-misogyny and everything. What is the mission of your community?
I just want my community to feel inclusive to more types of people, and women, I think, are a cool thing to have in a community.
You are literally excluding people by banning people who are saying I love what you're excluding comedy.
Yeah,
I can exclude certain types of there are certain types of comedies that I can exclude to increase my audience, of course.
Sneeko, there's plenty of comedy clubs will hire you to do any kind of joke. If you just get up on there and say the N-word a bunch of times during your bit as a white dude, calling all the people like Kramer did.
Kramer, yeah.
Even if you call it comedy, you know, I'm still.
It was pretty funny, but
because we not rocking with that, and you understand that. You know, there's no comedy club. If Nick Fuentes came up and started calling half the crowd,
you guys are equating it to something. It's not the same thing. I love women is clearly a joke. That's the irony.
Sneeko, but it makes people. The
problem. N-word is a direct slur. I love women is being ironic.
Hold on, wait, real quick. The reason why things like
irony?
The reason why things like the N-word suck is because it's the clearest fucking way to show you that you don't belong in an area. It is one immediately fast word to say you're different.
I'm not talking about the N-word.
I'm not either. I'm just saying in general. There are certain types of comedies, there's certain types of humors where you make them over and over again. You make a certain people feel like this is not a space for me. I want women to feel like they have a space on my stream. And it's really easy. There's a million fucking things to joke about by saying, hey, just don't shit on women or be weird about women. We can joke about anything else. It makes the community better. Because why the fuck wouldn't you want to be in a community with more fucking women? Why would you not want that?
Because we actually actually go. No, God damn it! Can I go? Can the Irish guy go?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So, Sneeko, I want to point this out to you real quick because it's actually something I learned a few years ago about irony. So, like, nowadays, Zoomers are so fucking irony poisoned that there's, like, meta-irony and post-irony. So, basically, what happened is irony used to, for millennials like myself, it literally just used to be sarcasm. So, you were saying something ironically just to say the opposite, right?
What
meta... Right. So what meta-irony does is it basically goes back to the sincere thing. This is something that Nick Fuentes actually pioneered with basically him talking about the Jews and shit, is he was saying, oh no, we love Israel, we love the Jews, we love all of them all the time and all that kind of stuff in order to get back to the original point. And then post-irony is the shit that J-Reg, for those of you who are familiar, that's what he does, where you have no idea what the fuck he means because he's just being, like, irony poisoned the entire time. So my point to you is just that just because it's ironic, just because it's a fucking joke, doesn't mean that there isn't an undercurrent. So, for instance, like, plenty of people that I was hanging out with in the, like, 2016s or whatever, I would join in with the racist jokes because I love a good fucking racist joke. But the truth is, I was saying a racist joke because I was saying that racism was fucked up. They were saying a racist joke because they think black people are inferior to fucking white people genetically. So there's two fucking different reasons for why these people are enjoying these jokes.
What's the difference?
Right, but you can't ban the feeling.
Holy shit, what
That's
the fuck
the
was
problem
that?
with
Jesus.
you trying to ban.
I'm with
No,
you.
you can't. That's true. You can't ban the feeling, but when you change,
you're trying to get it out of your community, but that's all it does is foster more of those types of people.
When you change the type of, when you change,
the more you ban that, the more they.
When you, I'm not trying to ban people and they don't get pent up. The reality is the humor that you partake in will shape the ideas that you have. Okay, there's a really good book, 1984. This is the central point of the book. Is the idea that words dictate thoughts. And when you make the same kinds of jokes over and over again, people will start to think certain things. If you go into certain communities and you find people that make the same types of anti-Indian jokes, the same type of anti-black jokes over and over and over again, you'll start to feel a way. And if you stop making those types of jokes, you'll also probably start to feel a certain way. That's it. And also, being around certain types of people that are now willing to be in your community because everybody's not making those types of jokes will also make people feel a certain type of way.
So in this role, are you playing the role of the government in 1984, or are you playing the role of people, like, trying to ban people?
The role of the government.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and like I don't think the motivation is actually even that important.
He's gonna attack me
right?
directly,
Like the simple fact is, if you're trying to make a community that's like more comfortable for women to be in, if I'm a woman and I see, you know, 1,000 people doing the "I love women" joke, regardless of what their motivation.
Fun fact:
I'm keeping the fact.
Anybody that says that 1984 was about government surveillance has never read the book, or they were 2 years old when they read it. Okay, that is not what 1984 was about. It had little or nothing to do with fucking government surveillance. Okay, what a dumb stop.
That's what it's gonna make you feel like, anyway. So, yeah, I don't know. The conversation about like whether or not there's misogyny in your community, I don't feel there is. You probably have a better read on what gets posted on the Reddit. I feel like it might be. I feel like I don't see that representation, but yeah, I agree with the idea of like banning the joke, just for the simple fact that it's like.
Yeah.
Are you?
Sneeko,
What?
I get your repulsion
Why
to
can't I
like
destroy his monster?
cultural motifs coming from like a higher place or whatever, but the truth is that this is the way that culture has always worked. There's always been gatekeepers and authority figures who have always been preaching the messages to us. So then it just becomes a question of who's in power, what's the message being preached, is that good or is that bad?
One face-up position monster.
You guys are okay with Destiny being the overlord?
It's my community, of course.
In its own community. Yeah, absolutely. You should be in your own community. In your own community, you are the only god that matters. You and your moderators, and you actively decide. Absolutely, you decide the landscape.
Crazy.
Absolutely.
Is a man not a king in his own
I'm actually curious.
It's not a democracy when it's a community thing.
I want to ask Sneeko, if you were running your own community, what's some of the type of things that you would not allow in terms of your people saying constantly?
Well, before I was banned, I allowed pretty much everything. I allowed my chat. I didn't have any restrictions. I didn't even have slow mode on. It was just full schizo spam all day long. The only thing that I started removing, or like at one point, because I had like a big incel audience, were like, yo, I'm gonna be honest, some people in the chat were saying Elliot Rodgers was right. And I'm like, okay. I had to pause the stream. I'm like, yo, you guys cannot do this here. This is gonna look bad on me because I'm gonna go to jail if you guys end up in a GameStop.
But you can't ban a feeling, Sneeko.
But
this is
why are you banning feelings? So I'm actually curious.
This is the interesting nuance of like the free speech argument, right? It's like, yeah, you want to be able to like contend with certain ideas, right? For example, like Destiny doesn't deplatform people. He'll always talk to people who even are incels and debate with them. The issue is that like when you have an unfettered free speech space like yours, you start getting into like people like just feeling comfortable to say like really noxious, like uncomfortable things, which is why like I try to argue like we don't really know how to do online community well. We're kind of still making shit up as it goes. For example, in my community, I don't moderate these people, but I have people that I've set up who moderate and watch for these things, and then they verbally they talk to these people and fight with them and make them feel embarrassed for saying stupid shit. That's what they do.
They fucked up all the time. And yeah, you're right. You can't ban a feeling, but I could also remove things that are going to get me in trouble with the government. So if someone like that ends up at a GameStop with an AR and they look through their search history, they see my stream, then I'm getting in trouble.
Okay.
That's what I have to. I just do that. Anything that I censor in my stream or anything that I censor in my community is just stuff to prevent me from going to jail.
Okay. So let me ask you: if someone's in your community, they're festering in there, they're around a bunch of people who say they love Elliot Rodgers, it's not going to get you in trouble. The government's already sent you a letter saying they will never come after you for this. You can keep that kind of rhetoric going. If this person's festering in your community, they're talking to other people, and eventually they go out and shoot other people. Okay, right? They've been spending time. They've been finding like-minded minds. Do you feel any type of way or any kind of responsibility for that?
No, because when they started talking about that, I'm like, you're a weirdo. You should not be talking about this. I don't know why you're obsessing over a serial killer. You guys are straight up weirdos. I'll call that out. I'll be honest about my opinion. And I've never talked about him once in a positive light. So no, I would not show any remorse. I would not feel bad about that. That's a stupid thing. And now that online communities have done, you saw that even when Ye talked about the small hat people, there were Nazis on the freeway in Los Angeles with the sign that said the Jews. Kanye was right about the Jews, and then I got in a debate with somebody. He's like, he's responsible for fostering this idea about Judaism, and you should not hold responsibility for how everybody else takes your words. So even if I'm like the champion of incels or whatever the fuck, if they do some crazy shit, it's not my responsibility because I'm vocal about what I think about all these things. I'm not telling anybody to go on the freeway with the swastika.
No, but this is some libertarian ANCAP shit. What about
you hold people somewhat responsible for the words that they say. This is why we have like major political movers. Like nobody would say that MLK isn't responsible for like major movements in the civil movement just because he used words. Like we would of course attribute positive things to people's words. So why wouldn't we attribute negative things?
You have to look at intention. So that was MLK's intention.
What if fans of yours were posting? What if there was like a subreddit for fans of yours and they were posting child porn in there? Would you police them then? Would you ban them then? Would you say you're not a part of my community?
Well, the subreddit would not allow that.
No. Answer the question. Let's just say that we're 4chan, 8chan. Okay, 4chan, 8chan. Some deep web, dark web shit. There's a fan website, and they're posting your fan website saying that this Sneeko fucking loves this shit. He won't admit it. He fucking loves this shit. Are you gonna say not in my name? Fuck you. You're not part of my community.
Yeah. Differences. I think a little bit of misogyny is fine, but CP is always bad.
Then Microsoft
that's an okay answer, but I'm asking if you would take action
and then I still
in saying this has nothing to do with
limit
fuck
everything.
These people, they're not a part of my community.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would say that. CP's
okay.
That's terrible for people. But you cannot equate lines. I see what you're saying, but I don't think you can equate CP to misogyny. Because misogyny, it sounds bad in this community of Destiny people, the Orbiters and everything. Like they don't like these words.
Oh, there you go.
This should be police. But it all comes to the same place. Oh, look, Stardust is in the same place talking about how she wants to make jokes about how men should be deported. I get it. We hate each other. But it's love. It's based in a feeling of love. We love to hate each other, and that's a good thing. And if we are not allowed to express that, then we get all weird and autistic and.
Okay, I'm with you that the Overton window is way too fucking narrow, but I just wanted to point out to you that there are rules and laws that even you would step in for. That's all I was trying to make a point about.
Well, he's worried about self-preservation. The question I would have is like, let's say you've got these people that are saying Elliot Rodger was right or whatever, right? And you're like, hey guys, I personally think that's really fucked up and I disagree with that. But you refuse to take any action to like hold that behavior in your community. And suddenly, you know, let's say that there's a phenomenon where suddenly word gets out that saying Elliot Rodger and showing support for Elliot Rodger is acceptable in your Discord server, whatever it is, in your community. Discord's not going to do anything about it. The government's not going to do anything about it. But suddenly you've got this influx of people who are Elliot Rodger sympathizers, and they come to your community because they've heard that it's a place that will harbor that activity where nowhere else will.
Yeah, shit can negate effects, can destroy cards. I'm pretty sure it's impervious to effects too, like something.
No, and I did, and I called that out. My problem is that Destiny's equating saying I love women, and then even your argument, you're comparing saying I love women, as if you can't have frustration towards the other gender. The dating market sucks.
Listen, he's right in that they're not just saying I love women. They're saying something else behind that, which is that I think this person is fucking retarded, and I like me
mostly because they're a woman.
Well, so the read on I have on that is different, which is like they just like they're not necessarily that they're actually worried, but now that there's a trope in saying that like if I criticize this person, I will be accused of misogyny, even if it like this person's just saying silly things.
I think. Can you? What if? I think that the Elliot Rodgers thing is a little bit too hyperbolic of an example. What if your community, out of nowhere, you just started like fostering this like STEM community, and everyone in your community was like, "Women are my goddesses. They can sleep with whoever they want, and I don't get to fuck anyone. I have my cock in a cage all day." And then people started to look at your community as those sort of people. You'd be like, "I don't really fuck with this. I'm gonna make sure that these people are not representative of my community."
W loves, yeah. That's why I fuck with you. That's what they're encouraging, and that's what Twitch has become. It's just a place for Sims to thrive. So when Destiny keeps saying like you need to police misogyny,
what he's doing is he's setting a standard for his community because that's not his values, right? So it makes sense that you don't understand it because that's not your values. But if Steven isn't a misogynist, it would make sense that he doesn't want that in his community. That's why he's banning it, is because he doesn't want.
If he is a misogynist. We're all misogynist. If you spend time talking to women and dating women and fucking women, you are inherently a little bit of a misogynist.
Whoa. Oh, Sneeko. No. Destiny. Can you respond to that? Destiny, are you a misogynist?
Are you a little misogynist?
That's like asking if you're a little racist. The point isn't whether or not I am a misogynist or I am racist. The point is, do I actively take steps to try to curb the behavior or the thoughts? And the answer to that is yes, of course. I'm sure we've all got problems when I'm working on it. That's not an excuse for me to not like encourage my community to be the ideal that I want to be.
That's a great point. So you are a little bit racist, you are a little bit misogynist, but being able to joke about it and talk about it with other people is a proper way to curb those negative thoughts.
No, that's not called curbing anything. That's encouraging it.
No, being able to joke about it and talk about it is the best way to get those feelings out there.
Hold on, I just want to get this on the record. If I have one community that's allowed to make misogynistic jokes and another community that doesn't make misogynistic jokes, which community is more likely to be misogynistic? You're committed to one answer, but I just want to hear it.
I was reading the chat. I don't remember what you said.
If one community is allowed to make you go to a community and it's filled with misogynistic jokes. You go to another community, there's no misogynistic jokes. Which community is more likely to be misogynistic?
The first one.
That is making misogynistic jokes?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Then that's not the community I want.
Okay, but you need a little bit of it to balance out the world.
Yeah,
so right
you
now,
might be able to have a little bit of. I agree. You're making an argument. Stop. I agree with you. You need a little bit of it. That's fine. I allow a little bit of racial humor in my chat because I don't think that my community like hates black people, any weird shit like that. I don't see weird stuff like that. So it's okay. But if my community started to get really weird, like if Abba came on and he started to make some bad arguments and people were like, man, this is what people from Detroit are like, or I don't know, some weird shit like that. If I started to see that showing up in my chat a lot, I'd be like, okay, hold on. Or if Abba started to say some dumb shit and people were like, bro, stick to rapping, I'd be like, wait, what the fuck? Yeah, or if Abba came in and people started to say like, pull up your pants, what's going on? I'd be like, what the fuck? Or if Abba came to my chat and people started to say
like, yo, Abba's really like friendly to white people, like
yeah,
that.
Exactly. No, but if people started to say weird shit like that all the time, they'd be like, okay, hold on, we're gonna cut back on racial humor because something is obviously like not okay here. I'm not gonna do this.
Hold on, Sneeko, can I fuck with this real quick? So Abba, you're a veteran, right?
Listen, I won't call myself that. I only did a few years, so no, I won't use that. But
okay,
go ahead.
Whatever. So what I was saying is like in the military, at least my experience, I was in the U.S. military. So what happened was we were racist as fuck, but we were racist as fuck in a way where we were fucking with each other. So basically, like all the stereotypical jokes, we were like fucking with each other, busting each other's balls, talking about how different people didn't have moms, or they did drugs, or they smoked weed if they were from Jamaica, or like I looked like Justin Timberlake or some shit like that, or ate too much fucking mayonnaise, like that. We were busting each other's balls along the stereotypes of our race. But then what ended up happening was we actually ended up fucking with each other more because we enjoyed each other's company along those lines. The only thing that I think is a little bit different though was actually because of the war on terror. Like Muslim dudes or whatever, like anybody who was Muslim, they basically got shit on because we were fighting predominantly Muslim people. So the reason why I was asking is because you're up in Canada, right? So I kind of wanted to see if like Canada was the same shit.
Another one, disgusting.
Yeah, Canadians taking over. I mean, listen, the whole idea of like racism in the military and stuff like that in regards to humor, I have a lot to say about it, but I feel like I disagree with you heavily in what you're saying right now, so I don't want to go down that road.
Wait, so you're saying we don't have to go down the rabbit hole, but you're saying it was negative that they had those interactions?
Yeah. There's definitely some negative undertones for sure.
Okay.
There doesn't necessarily
another
have
time
to be.
Then
there's not inherently negative undertones there, but certainly if you're a new person coming into that space and you see that that's the dynamic without context, it can it's not going to be welcoming. It might be.
It got pretty fucked up.
Here, in a way, joining a military unit is kind of analogous to like joining an online community, because when you join a military unit, you're getting people recruited from all over the country being grouped up together. People from communities where there are no black people from urban areas, people from rural areas, and so you're finding out that all these people from different cultural backgrounds are making similar kind of jokes or weird jokes, but they're doing it for very distinct reasons. And so kind of similar to DGG in a lot of ways, people may be all making the same jokes, but not everyone's doing it for misogynistic reasons. But there's absolutely some motherfuckers in the military who, when they make a joke, you start looking at them a little bit more seriously, because it's like, there's something weird about how you said it and the way and the words you say it. I don't buy it. So, but I don't like to get into that because I don't like to assign intent to a lot of people, and I feel like when you do that online, you get just shafted every day for it. But if I'm being honest, I looked at a lot of people.
Just as a quick thing, because this is just stuff that I've heard. I know there might be differences between the U.S. and Canada in terms of how you guys deal with it, because obviously in Canada you guys have a whole bunch of weird shit going on. But one of the things that I've heard repeatedly said is that like race relations in the U.S. military are really good. That like sexism is still a big problem, but when it comes to like race relations between people, like that's some shit that gets stamped out like pretty early. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard it repeated pretty often, and I have heard it repeated often like sexism problems still. So maybe it's different between like Canadian military culture and U.S. military culture, or maybe that people told me that were just lying. So I don't know.
No. Sexism is a problem. I think the U.S. military is especially good and like even much better than like most professional and academic spaces when it comes to sexism and just like racial and sexual integration in general. Like in Navy boot camp, the very first person I had to take orders from was like a 5 foot tall like Filipino.
I feel like this corporal is shit or whatever.
I'll just say this as a final point, and then you go. I'll just say like, even though they may have studies and all that stuff, like I mean, you even heard about racial fights. You heard about, there's a lot of wild stuff that be happening in the military that never gets reported or goes higher up. So the idea of race relations being great, I don't think they're terrible. I don't think they're like we're full on, but there's some wild stuff. And if you ask enough black soldiers, they'll tell you like,
symbolic communication language is uniquely human / homo. Thank you, Richard Bruce.
I want to make this point to Sneeko for it cutting both ways. So I'm more with your perspective that I would rather be sexist and women be misandrist like fucking Stardust, so we can kind of shit on each other, so we can laugh at each other's expense, but then ultimately there's like a mutual respect that we can collaborate on and move on forward together. Same thing with race shit. Like I would like to be a little bit racist, my brother in arms be a little bit racist, and then we work together.
Well, ultimately, you can't. White guys can't be racist the same way that I can be racist. It's not the same thing. And same thing, women can be openly misandrous, and we cannot be at all misogynist or whatever the fuck. You can't make jokes, or else people like Destiny come in. Well, I don't want to foster a misogynist.
I think everybody here would agree that's a problem.
That's how you get Twitch. You get Twitch a place full of simps because they encourage one specific behavior and they only allow one certain type of joke, and they're trying to do something.
Okay, but as opposed to that, or that's how you get things where like you and AD are like fucking traumatizing some fucking poor Brazilian chick on Fresh and Fit. Like it's not like your side looks any better here. What do you mean?
Whoa, it wasn't AD. It was academics. Put some respect on AD.
Oh my bad, academics. Fuck me.
She wasn't traumatized. We were joking too.
Yo, he was not joking. He was fucking triggered.
Academics was triggered, but I was joking. She was making jokes because I'm half Asian. She was saying I have a shrimp dick, and she was like a fucking prostitute, so she had a bush sticking out of her panties. We're joking, going back and forth. It's fine. But everybody has a problem to say it's bullying when it's me. When she's saying I have a shrimp dick because I'm Asian, nobody blinks a fucking eye.
I would have to look at her comments about you. Wait, did she make the shrimp?
This is a mischaracterization of what happened. You came at her out of nowhere calling her Pop Smoke. That's how that shit started. She did not start off calling you shrimp dick. You came at her voice out of nowhere. And I didn't mention in my YouTube video, and I'll let you off on that one, but the fact is you started that shit. And then DJ Academic off on that one. What?
Bro, why are you so obsessed with like trying to be the moral police, Abba?
No, because you're misrepresenting what happened to your favor. You're bullshitting. You're making
it sound like Abba talks about with anybody. When you talk about live,
you came in here. No, you came in here and then you're trying to rewrite the situation. Talk about she was cracking jokes. That's not what happened. You were ripping on a woman who came on the platform for the first time.
I started making jokes about her for D4. She started making jokes too. She made jokes about shrimp dick Asian shit. I made jokes about her bush. It's fine. Academics went really far and whatever. But you guys say I was bullying her. Well, I was just joking. But my point is, Abba, you always come like
did she agree?
Bullshit card.
To the roasting, it's a podcast. My point is, Abba will come in here and say that he has a stand-up comedy pass, but at the same time have a whole YouTube channel being the moral high ground on everybody else. When he introduces Lav, this is what people discredit her for.
Yes.
What she does, and immediately Abba's only talking about the stuff that's negative that he knows other people, he's gonna get attention for that. That's the big part of the online community that sucks.
This is a deflection. It is
people
true.
will only talk about negative things.
Sneeko, whose whole live streaming career revolved around shitting on women every single day, 7 days a week. Do not come in here and talk about moral police. Your literal job and how you make six figures that you're begging YouTube for now was shitting on women and reacting other videos shitting on women. Do not come in here where you called everyone bots without knowing anything about them. Where you come in and called everyone too stupid and government retards and now try to tell me I'm moral police. My friend, your entire job was saying the truth, but really you were just shitting on women and shitting on people.
No, I'm calling out the feminist brainwashing and why these women ego and power shipping right now.
Here calling out feminist. Okay, carry on.
I was calling out the fact that all these women echo the same things that they read on TikTok and the feminist brainwashing. And I understand that you want to have a middle ground fence-sitting audience so that you can get both sides and you never actually have an opinion.
Oh, I can attack?
Out bullshit that you see from other people.
That's not true.
You don't have
that's not true about Ava's content.
But what I'm calling out is the feminist brainwashing and why women all think the same thing and why the dating game is
hold up. Stinko.
So I can make jokes about it without you saying I'm here criticizing all the time.
But my point... All right, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. He told the truth.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to talk over black men. So fucking Sneeko. So my thing though is like, so if your intent was to review all that content, women suck, this, that, the other, but the whole reason why is to kind of like fuck with them more, like understand like these are social dynamics, they're toxic for everybody, we're trying to push past them, like all that kind of shit. If there was some kind of like positive spin at the fucking end, I think I could fuck with it. As a matter of fact, I think that would be...
The same reason we were talking about the jokes in the military, how we make racist jokes so that we can go exist with each other from people of different races and creeds. I love women.
Hold on. Do the females feel that way? Do the females feel that way? Okay. Like, for instance, that chick on the podcast, did she feel like she was fucking with you in a good way that both of y'all were enjoying, or was she horrified and she was trying to basically stab you in your chest?
That's some liberal stuff. She started a whole podcast with it. She's very happy about the tension. She likes it. My point is that we should be able to make jokes about both sides. The reason that I call out the feminist brainwashing is because I want to coexist with women. I love women, and they make no goddamn sense. And so the frustration is the content. And you misconstrue it as criticizing and all the time and hating women when I'm really just trying to point out something so at the end of the day, I could be like, yo, you cool, come down. Wait, turn your camera on. What you looking like?
Misactivated
That's the whole point.
He thought he could
I just want to make a clarification that Sneeko says she wasn't traumatized, but according to her own words, that whole experience for her was quite traumatic. So you can go off what Sneeko says when he ascribes to her an intent or an idea, but her own words were that experience for her was fair.
That's what women get to do. That's part of the feminist brainwashing. Imagine if I said that, Abba, that I'm traumatized that she said I had a shrimp dick because I'm Asian. Imagine if I said that I'm traumatized because she said I have a small penis. Nobody would fucking care.
Wait, but Sneeko, that's not really what happened. I'm not necessarily saying she's traumatized or not, but like what happened in that situation is like you called her Pop Smoke, she shot back a little bit, and then she made fun of DJ Academics, and he fucking went off for like 10 minutes straight. The idea that like you saying I'm traumatized being called shrimp dick is the comparable to being like screamed at by like one man, and then having you jump in as she's being screamed at and making fun of her pussy. Like these aren't really the same thing. Like it's I don't know if she's traumatized, but
was she traumatized?
That doesn't
by me
matter.
She had a deep voice. Was she traumatized by me making fun of her Pop Smoke voice?
I don't think so. She was bantering back and forth.
Okay.
She definitely.
I doubt.
That's tactics again.
No, hold up.
This is the problem. This is the problem. You're meeting toxic femininity with toxic masculinity. Like this is literally the problem.
Cringe.
No, it's
cringe.
No.
How does it feel? Lav is on your side, you son of a bitch.
Cringe. You know, I hate when people can't have these conversations without using these fucking radioactive.
You think that I am equating that to all masculinity and femininity? I'm not. But when you meet toxicity with more toxicity, of course she's not fucking traumatized. It's a fucking podcast. But you pretending like you did nothing wrong is the exact counter, and why nobody will meet in the fucking middle. It's ridiculous. So you're having this extreme reaction to her extreme reaction, and it's going fucking nowhere.
My extreme reaction.
Your extreme reaction to be like misogyny is good. Misogyny is good.
Yeah, a little bit. Whatever word you want to use, but being able to joke about other people is good.
Sure, I mean, in the Fresh and Fit podcast,
it has to be. It has to be
in the
like
Fresh and Fit podcast, it was two men against one woman.
Nico, are you telling me you go in? Are you
from both sides? It wasn't. It didn't start that way.
If your goal is to like deconvert, if your goal is to like deconvert like radical men or whatever, Lav, I'm just telling you, this is why dudes sometimes hear you talk and they say I love women so much. It's not even because they hate women. It's because the case. No. Listen. I just want you to hear. I want you to understand. The reason why I said that was cringe.
And I don't agree with it.
Okay, you don't agree with why. Okay,
I already know what you're gonna say. What
am I gonna say? Go ahead, make it. No, go ahead.
You have to understand she hangs out with Max.
You heard me say the word. You heard me say the word toxic masculinity and had a fucking tizzy. I said toxic femininity also. I think both things are fucking true. I think you can relax just like the rest of the audience for the shit that I'm about to say next.
Jesus.
But Sneeko, you walk into a situation where you're obviously there are like all these women who are basically there for like lol cows, right? Like all these uneducated women who are usually sex workers at a disadvantage, and you go into that room with these men who basically just denigrate women all day, and I'm sure that you can recognize that that's what they do, even if you think that the women deserve it. You know that that's what they do, and you're walking into a position of power because you're a man and you're denigrating a fucking table full of women, and then you decide to make fun of one. What do you think you're doing?
Wait, actually.
Joking around, roasting.
Yeah, but do you not understand that there's a power differential? That you're virtue signaling.
You know what the power difference is? Is that you guys are still talking about a 10-minute interaction on this panel right here. I've seen 30 reaction videos to that one interaction, and if it's reverse, nobody would talk about it. People don't talk positively about men in those situations. There's no review. You wouldn't. And Abba here, Abba's obsessed.
I do it with Max.
The reason people are talking about this so much is because of how the reason.
Let him speak. He didn't finish his point. Everyone interrupted him. Go ahead, speak.
People like Abba and all the reaction commentators and stuff like that, they won't talk about all the points and all the times that we can debunk feminism and debunk the brainwashing. They don't speak a fucking word about it. But there's 30 reaction videos to one little interaction. We are still in here talking about the panel. The one time where it's like fake red pill, fake alpha male, you only want to talk about men and people who are speaking positively about men in a negative way to meet in the middle ground. But you can't talk about women in the same way or else you get banned.
But I mean, I will say, like, the reason why people talk about that clip so much, why it's trending so much, is it's such a flagrant hypocrisy of Fresh and Fit's own worldview. That's why people, like, it's not just the misogyny. It's the fact that there was you and two other men. watching DJ academics attack a woman for minutes straight. Nobody said anything. Nobody stood up until Rashid finally was like, fuck this shit, and took his headset off and walked out, which was the best standing up anyone did. But if you like talk, especially not you, because I know you're not big into the alpha male thing, but for Fresh and Fit, it was a blatant hypocrisy of their own worldview. That's why that was trending so hard. I would agree with you that in general, we're always willing to like attack men for like their fuck ups a little bit more than women. Like, I would agree with that, but part of why that was trending so hard is that hypocrisy.
Okay, Destiny, I'm going to ask you. You've seen enough of my content. Is Sneeko, what Sneeko says is true in regards to the fact that we don't cover the fact, the ways in which feminists can be hypocrites, or the ways in which women can engage in misandry or hypergamy? Is it true when Sneeko says that we don't talk about these things that the red pill dudes get right?
I don't need that card.
No, you do talk about these things, but real quick, I think that the issue is that because I have to leave soon. The issue that's happening is this feels really gross to say. But Lav is 100% correct. But Abba is also 100% correct. Something that Lav hasn't learned yet is that you can't say the word toxic to any of these guys, especially Sneeko, because they're actual bots and they will get triggered out of their fucking mind. And Abba too.
I think that was a great point.
Abba's bot. If you say the word toxic, their brain completely shuts off. Abba and Sneeko both have the bot. Okay.
Lav made a great point. Lav made a great point.
Well, let me fit. Hold on. You can't steal it in front of me. What I was gonna say, just real quickly,
you are assuming what I'm saying.
No, I'm not assuming. I'm just saying. I was gonna say what I was gonna say. Yes.
Toxic femininity with toxic masculinity. That's a good point.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That if there are some people that are being, I'm not gonna reset. Yeah, if there are people being really toxic, you can just be toxic back, because then everybody's just gonna continue being toxic, and then we're all just kind of like fucked. Yeah.
The point I was making before Live cut me off earlier.
Okay, you're gonna get the last one, and then I'm leaving. I can host whoever's streaming right now. Who's streaming right now?
All I was trying to say was that in the ways in which a lot of feminists or women engage in these conversations with using these supercharged words ends up turning off a lot of dudes. So when you came to this conversation, Lab, I wasn't disagreeing with the point that you're making. I'm trying to let you understand that when you use these words that have so much loaded history and that to most dudes is absolutely off-putting, you shut them off from the conversation. I'm saying you're being ineffective. I'm not saying you're being incorrect. I'm saying you're being ineffective because they've heard so many other folks use the words incorrectly. That's why Sneeko gets charged. That's why I'm saying you guys don't know how to deconvert these men. That's what I'm trying to say. But that's all I want to do. One point.
I think I can own that, but I think that it was important that I said that it was like both sides. So I think that I am smart enough to know that I should not use that when talking only about masculinity, but I think when asserting that it's both sides is where I did good.
Okay, good job. You guys are all great. I'm leaving, but you guys can have fun. Okay.
Bob, can I get a discount on your Patreon real quick?
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
And now you all fucking leave. You guys are fucking losers.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, I love you all. Bye.
I'm great. Love you. Bye.
Yeah. Well, now I'm pressured to fucking sit in here.
Why do they all leave? Why do they need my attention? Okay, Jesus Christ. I'm leaving. I stayed here too late, and I hate my life, and I hate everything about myself. Goodbye. Rip. Low tier god was wanting to figure out how to get hosted. If he wants to figure out how to get hosted, he needs to figure out how to add me to his allowed hosting list. Oh, he actually did figure it out. Okay, fuck it. I'm sending you to low tier god then. Good luck. This is arguably one of the more destructive orbiters we'll ever have, so. Okay. Love you guys. Ripper and Cappuccino, Pappuccino, Hoppuccino, Moppuccino, Dappuccino, Cappuccino, Appuccino, Albuccino, my dude. I will catch you guys. I think I'm here tomorrow. Ripperino.
This guy's gonna is he doing the thing now? What's that fucking hair? Alright, let's do. What is this? I liked it. Let's see. Zombie. Wait, no.
Well, you know what? Who says that a human being may not actually experience laughter? After all, I am a human being, and humans actually experience laughter. He said 24-hour no chat, he will not be pleased? Do we open up? Okay, 1 second. Let's do this.
Let me play this shit. I played
I'm
it
going to
so
be somewhat
bad.
generous.
Of course.
Does
How
this
am I
option
gonna play
seem a
the
little bit
one
better?
play that I fucking do all the time? It's not the worst thing ever, but still so dumb.
Love the content. I'm wondering what the angle to get a reaction out of someone will be. No doubt we'll make a video about this. Well, thank you for your donation, and Kickbees, thank you for your donation. The thing is, I'm trying to figure out what is the problem with wearing a flannel and a pair of glasses.
Sir, it's not the flannel, it's not the glasses. It's the flannel, the glasses, and the hair. It's like a very poor impersonation of Justin Bieber.
1 second. So, guys, does that work a little bit better for some of you that are trying to chat? I'm wearing a wig. Where do you see an actual wig? Mods.
Okay, well, that makes me feel a little better.
You don't have to ban people in particular today. I think you know the type of stuff that people deserve to be banned for. You said the 24-hour shit was nuts. Well, guys, the thing is, I get a lot of people that dislike me. So they come into my chat and they say very mean things. And they make me have very vivid thoughts. And those thoughts, sometimes I cannot control.
No, actually, you know what? Fuck you, dude.
I have a question for you guys. Are you a fan of sausage? So it seems like we have a lot of people that actually are a fan of sausage. If I could ask you what... Let me rephrase this question. If I could ask you what flavor and how much well done do you like your sausage, what would that actually be? long hard beef.
Actually, no. Fuck. I didn't have to do that. I didn't want to do that.
I'm trying to see if people in here like sausage the way that I do. Beef glizzy. Meat flavored. Beyond well done. We're getting somewhere with this.
Oh, nice. Actually, no. That's good play. Good play. Good play. No, I had already activated that.
Can I tell you guys a secret? If I tell you a secret, do you promise not to tell? Come closer. My favorite type of sausage is extremely well done. I love when the sausage is very brown. It's just something about it that just does something into the insides of me. I love nothing more than a well-cooked brown sausage. I don't know about you guys, but I like my sausage well done. I like my meat cooked. I like my meat in reminiscence to melanin. And I know we're in year 2022, but I refuse to use the word pause. Love the cut. The drip is immaculate too. Do you like Lizzie? Pause. I can't read the last part because I cannot pronounce that name of the donation. Andy says, ham dunk. What's in my fridge? What's actually in there? I think I purchased something today. But if I told you it was in my fridge, then that would actually give away too much information. Supreme BBC at hand right now. Well, Supreme BBC logic. What is a BBC? Where's the cat? Oh, he's sleeping. He has his very special place where he sleeps. I wonder if my feline friend will mind if I attempt to get sturdy.
How?
Again, I have to remind myself that I am allowed to smile because I am a human being. Let's see. Getting sturdy.
Is he gonna get the people on the Discord or not?
How about getting sturdy instrumental? Breaking character? Who says that certain people never actually smiled? Alright, let's look up a couple. I'm not sure if I can move this fast to this beat. Alright, so what we'll do is, that's going to be a potential. Alright, so I'm going to duplicate that one. I'm going to duplicate that tab. And I'm going to look for something a little bit slower. What the fuck is this? Excuse my profanity.
Who's this motherfucker? You know what? I don't like this guy. I think this is the guy I'm just gonna put him in the Discord channel.
kind of like that one. So I'm going to duplicate that tab as well. I'm going to go back and search again. Well, I want to use beats that will not get the stream copywritten. I'm going to try my best attempt to get sturdy, as they would call it. K-Flock, is you ready? Instrumental. Alright, let's go ahead and type that one in and see what pops up.
I might close this stream, he's boring.
Not a fan. My lips are huge. That would be due to a genetic thing, possibly hereditary.
Okay, this guy is playing so slow, it's pissing me off.
That actual beat sucks.
He's trying to survive this shit.
Alright, so let's go ahead and see what else
can't
there
survive
is.
the Halloween.
Before we actually try to play Five Nights at Freddy's, I want to actually attempt to get sturdy. I've been watching a lot of
zombies,
urban dancing, and sturdy seems like something that I would like to actually attempt to try.
Banshees. Yeah, some fucking worm. Stands no chance. Simply how it is.
Now, guys, I can't promise you that I'm going to do an excellent job, but I will try my best. Thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. A wig? I'm confused. There is no wig. Yeah, I cannot move that fast. Alright, I think I might have to go with
fuck.
This one.
No problem.
Well, the reason why I say that I can't move that fast is because if I'm just now trying to practice getting sturdy, my body movement cannot keep up with the beat.
Stupid play.
I need something a little bit slower.
But I'm only doing that.
Do I piss in gallons? I wouldn't call it a gallon. It's more of a big blue barrel. Shake it instrumental.
I'm
One
gonna
second.
synchro. I'm gonna use red eyes. And I think Glow of Gloom should give me the effect. It should trigger it, I think. Yes. And I can get Battle Rock on the field.
Is this beat copywritten?
So yeah, it's all good.
And I cannot play it.
Oh, we're all good now. So I'm gonna attack using red eyes. That should steal his monsters. Okay, yeah. I figured like he had some shit going on there.
That'd be...
I might be able to cancel that effect. Or maybe not, because it's a trap.
Well, it has 156,000 views. I'm going to assume that it's copywritten.
I can still beat him though. Ooh, okay. Well, that's fucked. It's very fucked. That's fucked, son. That's not cool. That ain't cool at all. You can do that twice. Can you? What is happening? Jesus.
Yeah, I feel that it's too risky. It's an instrumental for a popular song. Oh, okay.
Can you special summon that thing or something? I don't understand. What was all
Let's
that?
see how this one would go.
He's trying to set up another play, but he can't, right? Am I? Oh yeah, the fact of the fucking dragons. Fuck! I didn't know that. Damn it! Cock blocked me. He can still suck my dick though. This guy goes to his graveyard. You're done.
I'm testing it out.
Bye.
Guys, if I don't have as much rhythm, is that going to bother you?
Dude. Jesus Christ. Just get the fuck out. I hate this fucking deck, dude. I hate people who play these decks like this. Just accept you fucking lost. What are you doing? You're gonna get that piece of shit in defense position. Like, get the duel to be a lot longer. It's so stupid. Like, for real, you're making my life so fucking annoying. Jesus Christ, dude. For real, the most annoying shit.
Guys, should we practice a little bit first with the beat?
God damn, man. So stupid. Yeah, I can't do anything with the dragon there. Like, he's just gonna fucking attack me. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh yeah, fine. Oh, holy shit, thank you. Thank you for fucking pissing me off just to fucking give up afterwards. What is this fool doing, dude?
Guys, wait a minute. Did I... Wait a minute. I'm confused. Did I do something wrong? Tuck in the shirt? Alright, let me... I can't promise that it'll stay in. How do they do the part where it like... How do...
This is dumb.
Should we try again, guys?
This guy's lame. Alright, I'm gonna take a breather for a second. I'll be back.